Open your minds.
Hours of power, hours of power, hours of power, hours of power.
And so a community is where you control your police, you control your commerce, you control your education, you control your house. We don't control none of that. We live in a hood. Huh? Well, what about the Negroes that get out? Oh, well, see, my cousin, they say he's a multi-millionaire, almost at $1 billion.
The Popular Thought City.
3 PhDs, working on 2 more. Driving down the street in Chicago in his Rolls Royce, enjoying himself, and he hears these sirens and looks in the mirror and sees this cop car flashing lights. He squeezed the steering wheel, man. Heart beats fast. Because he knows the price of a Negro, what it could be. And then when that cop car passed him by, he said, thank God he wasn't after you in the first place, punk. That Negro thing you can't get away from. It's universal. They wasn't coming after you. With all your millions, with your Rolls Royce, with your PhD, didn't help. That's the hood. Huh? Why do you think you never pick up the paper till you over and over see white families? You think it's thousands of black cops in America. Why don't you see white families crying as black cops shot my loved one 42 times in the back of the head? Why do you think black cops are that? You think they're more spiritual? Think they're better? No! They got enough sense to know that white folks ain't gonna tolerate it. And I will stop in our neighborhood when we decide we will not tolerate it. Now, if we was organized, which is hard to organize people who are just gonna run crazy and you don't know you're crazy. But if we were, with the money we have, and the many people who would come to our aid that don't know what it's like to be a Negro, and we said, if we said, look, we saying, if we don't get a federal law to deal with police brutality, that anytime a cop or anybody carry a gun, have to have a license just like you used to drive a car. And if you use it wrongly, you lose your license. And if it's upheld, you can never work again as a cop or a store guard or a private detective. How do you get Congress to push that through? Well, you take your economic power and you call on your friends, black, white, young and old, and say, this coming Christmas, if we don't have a federal law to outlaw police brutality by law, then we call them for a nationwide boycott of Christmas and it'll start on Thanksgiving. Well, let me tell you what that means. 79% of all retail in America happens between Thanksgiving and Christmas. People stay in business all year, lose money just for Christmas, huh? Well, what happens now? Factory Avenue, Toys R Us, Sears and Roebuck, Westinghouse. They will get the bill, and all they got to do is make one phone call and say, Harry, that's the senator, I want that bill pushed through in 3 days. Okay, it's an economic thing. It's that simple. But we have the power, but the system has wiped us out so bad.
Hours of power, hours of power, hours of power.
Santana Lincoln 6. Go ahead. Clear suspect down 10-4. 10-4. The officer's code 4. We have one suspect that's been shot.
Open your minds. And peace, folks. Welcome back to another edition of the Popular Thought Series right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why your black asses are here. Boy, I got a good one for y'all tonight. As y'all can see, the title here, no matter what, still a nigger. Yeah, that's right. And I got some surprises for y'all too, because I didn't tell y'all about this, but I have quite a few guests coming through tonight. Yeah, that's right. I know y'all thought it was just gonna be me, but I got quite a few guests coming through tonight. And I ain't gonna tell you Negroes who they are too. So yeah, I have no intention on telling you who they are. So you're going to have to stick around to see who they are. But before I get started, y'all know I always start the show with thanking you good folks for your likes, your shares, your subs, your views, and of course, your hard-earned pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and 50-cent pieces. Because I realize you don't have to do it, man. You don't have to watch these damn videos. You don't have to show up to these damn streams. You don't have to like them. You don't have to share them. You don't have to sub to this channel. And you definitely don't have to drop your hard-earned coins on this platform. But you good folks choose to do so, man. Night after night, week after week, y'all are here, man. Y'all are here. And I want y'all to know, man, I don't take it lightly, man. I never have, and I never will. You got my word on that. I want you to know, man, that I'm humbled, I'm honored, I'm thankful, I'm appreciative, man, of all you good folks, man. The good folks who hang out there and the good folks who hang out in here. So I thank you. All right. All right. So let's get at it. Um, if y'all checked out the thumbnail, which I'm sure most of y'all did, uh, you see some brothers up there, right? I'm talking about the thumbnail, the pictures right here behind me. You see, of course, the General Colin Powell. We know who he is, right? And I know most of you know who Dr. Claude Anderson is. You may not be too familiar with this brother here. His name is David L. Stewart. Okay. Um, you may not be too sure. Well, I'm pretty sure y'all are familiar with Robert F. Smith, and behind me is Sidney Poitier. So let me see. I see something up there, but I can't really make it out. So I gotta bring it in here. Saw the email can't come up. My youngest son is feeling. Oh, okay. All right. Family calls. You know, man. You talk to me. Family first means more than this YouTube internet shit. So hope the young fellas feeling better, man. Just hit me up tomorrow or something. But we do have one of the guests coming through. It's the one and only Brother Bernard from the Grown Man Hour. What's good with it, Brother Bernard?
X, what's going on? What's going on?
What's good with it, man? What's good with it? As you can see, Brother Supreme is not going to make it tonight. One of the babies is feeling ill. So I was basically just talking about the people who were on the thumbnail. Now, like I told him, I just picked them kind of randomly, y'all. You know, Colin Powell, Dr. Claude Anderson, David L. Stewart, Robert F. Smith, and Sidney Poitier. And a lot of people will look at those people and you will hear them say, that, they still just a nigga or, whatever the case may be. But I disagree with that premise. I don't believe in nigger moments. You hear people talk about that a lot. Oh man, you're gonna get your nigger moment. I don't believe in nigger moments, man. I don't believe in that. All right. I believe that some of us black people will get our treated like any other black person moment. I believe we can have that. But I just don't follow the whole I don't subscribe to the whole, oh, you're gonna get your nigga moment, that kind of stuff. I just don't believe in that. And we've been joined by my brother Art Style as well. What's good with it, brother Art?
What's going on, X? Everybody out in the panel, what's going on?
Going on?
Well, let me start here. We're gonna get at it here. I've never been I've never been one to say all of us are the same or all of us should strive for the same stuff or all of us should be in unity or unified with the rest of us. I don't follow that logic either. So let me ask y'all, man, and I'll start with you, brother Bernard. Do you think that that's a thing? I mean, are we all the same? Are we all just a bunch of niggas running around here?
No. For me, that's an easy no, and that's something that we legitimately struggle with. We don't see class when we look at black people a lot of the times. Like, well, we will see a difference. Let's just say if somebody is just doing something amazing to the point to where they've garnered some type of fame or high status with it, and we look up to it. I don't mean to go completely stereotypical early on into this, but people look at the rapper and the athlete and everything as, oh, that's the black person that's really made it, or done something. They make distinctions like that. Or if you meet a black doctor, it's like, ooh, you a doctor, so it's like, we, to some degree, yeah, we notice when there's a black person who's made separation in some type of way. But also, again, and this is a reoccurring theme on my show, where I end up covering situations where you will see a rich and successful black person. Whether we talking about a celebrity or we just talking about just a regular successful person who just joined the panel or joined the discussion. You will hear them. You will hear them putting on a cape for some of the worst type of behaviors. Like, you will see them looking at things that most people in other groups would agree that this particular behavior, that these particular people that happen to have their skin tone, are that they're in this particular behavior that they're engaging in, is bad, and there's no excuse for it. Like, so we have this thing where we all won, and we all gotta look at all the behaviors. We don't even collectivize the good stuff. It's like we'll collectivize the bad stuff. And I recently did a stream, about the chicks. Well, not just about the women that was twerking on the table, but Nas in one of his rap songs, basically saying the owner was wrong for saying something about it. Well, it's almost like, if that's the things that some black people are doing, then we operate in a way like, okay, then we got to be okay with that. Even if you're the business owner, you got to be okay with that. You got to accept that, because we all one. There's no different. There's no separation. But no, there is a separation. And the conclusion that I think most reasonable people came to on my show was that those of us who do get to a certain point to where it's certain lifestyle, certain behavior, certain things that we're not doing, we don't have to dumb down our lifestyle, reach back to those who are still acting, in a way that we don't think makes sense. No, they need to up their game if they walk into our establishment. But so that's where I'm at with it. That we don't really see that much difference. A lot of black people, they try to view us as, or no, let me rephrase. Let me make sure I word it right. We view we view all of us as all the same, and we don't really see the difference. We don't see the difference in class. We don't see the difference. There's some cultural divides within black people. We don't see that, and that's why we end up having to, that's how we end up with statues of George Floyd. It's like, we're gonna make him immortal in a statue, because that's where I'm at with that. But no, we don't see difference in class and difference in behaviors. We don't acknowledge that. We don't acknowledge the separation.
Brother Art, same question.
Now I'm trying to get to the down to the premise, because could you rephrase the question again or phrase the question again?
Well, what I was basically saying is, are we all the same? I mean, are we just a bunch of niggas running around here? No matter what we do, no matter how much we accomplish, no matter where we live, no matter how much money we make, are we just a bunch of niggas running around here?
So this is more of an identity question.
Um, yeah, an identity slash class question, I would say.
Well, I think people have to know their place. If I if if I'm not stepping on any too many toes, um, and just in general, you have leaders and you have followers, but we just had to take the word follower and just say team player. There's some
Mhm.
people that are good leaders, some people that are good team players, and usually people want to do the opposite. And so therefore, there's always somebody trying to equalize you to where you are the same. And it's like, no, I do this and you don't do this. So why are you here? It's almost like the kids table and the grown up table. You know, I don't. Yeah, that whole thing. I think people have this illusion that we're all the same in that respect, but no, I don't. There is a pecking order. There's a hierarchy that we don't recognize, and that's probably one of our biggest issues right now. Hope I answered the question.
Yeah, I would have to agree with both of you, but this is what I think often happen. What often happens is that when you have black people who have, achieved some degree of success, I think often we try to minimize that success simply because this person happens to be black like us. If y'all can understand what I'm saying, we will minimize the success that this person has achieved because we say, well, he's black, so they still see you as just a nigga. And I
Oh,
and I and I think we do our brothers who are successful a disservice by saying that.
that's a miseducation of the Negro. You know that, right? I forgot what page, but it's in there. What you just said.
Yes.
But go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I think that we do our successful brothers a disservice by saying that because when you say they see you as just a nigga, who is the they? Who's
White people,
they? Of course.
white white people. That's what they mean. It's that goes back to the thing, and I actually I fight against it, and I push back against the concept that we as black people just really care that much about what white people think about us. But when we hear phrases like that, yeah, well, it don't matter. They still gonna see you as just just a N word in a suit or whatever. Yeah, that's essentially us, showing our hand that yeah that we will look at ourselves through their eyes, or really what we perceive, how we perceive or think that they see us. I remember SKC. I think it was SKC. Somebody pointed out that damn, I think is that me? I think Art got some. Yeah, I think Art got a little background. Yeah, somebody had pointed out that look, it's white people who more readily associate themselves with black people within the same class than what they would associate themselves with white people in a lower class. White people that make a certain amount of money and live a certain amount of life, a certain type of lifestyle. They not trying to hang out with Jim Bob from the trailer park no more. They don't want to be around him. They'd rather be with, you know, be around a black person in the same socioeconomic class. So there's class differences that we don't acknowledge, and even when we do try to acknowledge it, we're still too many of us are looking at it through the lens of how we think white people see us. We think that they see us all as this as the nigga in the suit, basically. So yeah, so that's how we start looking at each other. Well, how some of us start looking at each other. I don't do that, but that is a thing, and I was slow to accept that. But the more I just sit back and listen, I'm like, yeah, that's ringing as true as well. That yeah, we just see ourselves through their eyes, or what we perceive to be their eyes, how we perceive that they see us.
Yes, because of course, we know exactly what all white people are thinking because we as black people are telekinetic and psychic. So we know what all white people think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all telekinetic.
Yeah,
That's
it's a whole market and industry. That's but okay. I don't mean to be naming names, but if you just sit back and listen to Tariq Nasheed or somebody, they will go in telling you exactly what white people think.
oh yeah.
And apparently white people just think about us all day. They just wake up in the morning and trying to figure out what they gonna do to us. That's what they do all day. So yeah, so it's a whole industry built on that. I mean
Yes.
that industry is pretty lucrative. I mean, hey, you got the $1 million to build that museum real fast. So hey, it's a lucrative business pretending to know what white people think. So
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I,
yeah.
and see, that's the thing, man. Like, you always hear these narratives about, oh, white people, they just, see you as a nigga. And see, I have a problem with that too, because we are in America. And if you listen to some people talk, you would think the only people in America is white people and black people. I mean,
Hmm.
that's how they talk. Like, there's only white folks and black folks, nobody else. No one else exists in this country except black and white. And it's like, if you talk, right, because I watch your show a lot, and I listen to what some of the brothers say, and I see what comes up in the chat and whatnot. And you always have people, if you talk about success, if you talk about building, if you talk about, getting away from uh the crime and the drugs and the ghettos and the hood and also kind of bullshit, the first thing people try to accuse you of is, oh, you just worship white folks. Oh, you just trying to live like white folks. How come anything that's positive, anything that moves you forward as a black man with your family, your children, your business, your living situation, your social economics, if it's anything that, all right, who frying chicken? Who frying chicken in the background? Who is
That's
that?
probably the
That's
news.
Who is that?
I'm walking away. Go ahead,
I
fam.
think that's art. He
No, I'm
said
just
who
walking in the house.
Oh, that's brother. That's brother Art sandpaper in his damn bureau or his desk or something to get the sander.
Nah,
put the
that's
put the
that's
put the wood stuff up, man, for a little while. God damn it, until we get done. Quit doing your home repairs and shit. Yeah, it just seems like if it's something that's going to move you forward, whether it be economically, whether it be socially, or whether it be geographically, you're always accused of trying to be like white people, as if only white people can be successful. Only white people can live in good neighborhoods. Only white people can make a lot of money. Only white people can have a family. Like, I mean, it's the stupidest. It's the stupidest of things. And we've been joined by my man, brother Big Nate is in the house, and brother Trey, the NBD, as well. Um, that's just where I'm at with it. I think we too caught up, like you said, brother Bernard, in what white folks think. Because we realize, white people are the only other people in America besides black people. Um,
I
yeah,
have
we're
another I have a deeper way of
go,
looking at it.
go ahead, brother Art. Then we're gonna swing it around to my man Big Nate. Then we'll go to Trey. Go ahead.
It just seems like it's globally. It's not just black folks. There's always a group of different cultures and ethnicities trying to, win the approval of the ones that's supposedly on top, and they have their different ways of doing it. I mean, where you go to Asian countries, Africa, wherever, there's always that thing, like the bleaching cream, all these different things. So, whether people like it or I don't know, but it just seems like it goes that term like everybody loves a winner in their own way. So, but us in particular, it seemed like we went to school for it.
Mm,
We
Yeah.
went to nigga university. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
So, and then matter of fact, we fight each other over this shit. You know, and you ever heard the term? Don't embarrass me in front of these white folks.
mm.
What does that matter? you know, I mean, it'd be better if I embarrass you in front of some Chinese people. You know, I just think that like you guys are alluding to, you got to find a way to validate yourself instead of waiting for somebody else to validate you. That's my whole take on it.
Yeah, because I mean, like the topic of the show tonight, it's almost as um if you're a black man, you can never get above being just a straight nigga. If you're black, no matter what you do, you will never rise above that. And I think that's where the problems lie. But we've been joined by my man Big Nate. What's good with it, brother Big Nate?
What is up, Xavier? Mr. Riley, good to see you. Good to see you, Mr. Trey.
Hey,
He was
what's
just on
going
my
on?
show. My apologies for being late. Like I
What's up,
did a
bro?
little impromptu stream there, bro. I was out Tuesday.
Nope, I can't accept your apology, man. That is 5 demerits. Go ahead.
Demerits.
Go ahead, man.
Man, so if I get 6, I'm out of here.
Yeah, you're out of here. 5 demerits. Goddamn. Go ahead, brother.
And Mr. Art, good to meet you, sir. Nah, man, that's
Yeah, same here, fam.
I just have to be honest, man. I came to this space. One of the first things I asked on Bernard Riley's platform when I did my why I'm voting for Donald Trump, I said repeatedly, I even yelled it a few times. I said, why do you all care so much what white people think about you? White people ain't thinking about you. 98% of white people aren't thinking about you. We're the only race of men on earth who consider how other people feel about us, and it can put us in some sort of mood collectively. This shit is insane. No other man on earth acts like this. No other black man, no other any race of man gives a shit about what other groups of people think about them, especially when they're in pursuit of whatever their goals are. It is disgusting to hear grown black men upset because white people don't like them. Dude, this is unacceptable, man. Unacceptable. I swear to God, you come up on my platform talking that crazy shit, I'm not going to insult you or attack you, but you're going to get so much pressure back on you. It's going to snap your neck. Do not talk that way around real men, real black men, please. This shit has got to stop. It has
Nate,
to.
I think you rubbing off on me because man, I've been going off on people bad lately for that stuff too.
I know, I've heard it. I've heard it, Jack.
I gotta calm back down, but man.
I love it, dog. And look, this ain't about quote unquote following me. I don't give a shit about that. I care about the proper sentiment being promoted through this space. We have no business caring about what any other group of people, including black women, think about us. We are right and correct black men. I think most of us in the space, I'm sure some will disagree, but it's the content creators for the most part most of us are legit. Working men, blue collar, some white collar, all different levels of academic achievement, all different levels of income, some legit, genuinely successful entrepreneurs. Shout out to Trey and brother Xavier and brother Bernard. I mean, what the fuck are we sitting around crying and whining about racism for, dog? And it does not mean that racism doesn't exist. Now, Trey may disagree with me, but I do think there are vestiges of racism in the judicial system, in banking, in law enforcement. There's still some problems of racism. They're very small. They're in no way having any kind of broad effect on Black people. Cops are not pulling you over and beating the shit out of you in any kind of significant number. It's not even close. Not even enough to register on some goddamn status sheet. What are we complaining about? People darker than us, with more melanin than us, come here and are wildly successful because they have a culture and they come here to work, not to bitch and march for jobs and justice. That's it.
I have to agree. But before we go any further, shout out to Lady Deborah Leone, a longtime supporter of the T.P.O.T YouTube page, for that $3 super chat. I appreciate that, Lady Deborah. And when you drop coins on this platform, you get this. I appreciate you dropping your hard-earned coins on this platform. All right, we've also been joined by Brother Trey. What's good with it, Brother Trey? What you got on this, man?
Hey, what it do, Brother Xavier? Appreciate you letting me up. Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, Nate, Bernard, Art, salute. Yeah, man. It's a deep topic. It's a deep topic. When you hit me with it, I thought about it for a couple days. But I'll put it like this. A lot of people know my story. I was a cosplay Pookie back in the day. Being dropped off in the hood at 5, and then at the age of 22, when I walked away, even though I was married to an AB Dub, Strag, whatever, for 16 years, but still, she was a cosplay Keisha. That was the funny part about it, and she was able actually to get away too from it just by default, being married to a military dude. Now, at that point, I had already, from going to was able to, my last couple of years, go to a mixed high school. I went to a predominantly white college, basically get away. So it was like, whatever, none of that stuff really even mattered. Then around like 93, 94 in VA, stuff just started changing. I spent college, engaged to a small hat chick, and all the other dirt I was doing with all the other, white girls at the school. And it was whatever. Then joining the army and getting to travel the world, man, it stopped mattering. It did not even matter. The thought never even crossed my head. At that point, man, I never even really saw myself as, okay, here I am, this strong Black man. I mean, I know from jump, my dad from Mississippi, my mom's Jamaican. That's all I cared about. This whole pro-blackity black stuff, it didn't matter, because once I got away, I realized the only strife in my life came from people that look like me. And then after getting away, the only strife in my life was from the woman that looked like me. That was it. So once I got away from her, and I've been living my life, I come back around the manosphere, whenever I came up, 2017, 2018, thanks to ARC, just trying to, highlight ARC because of his book. Man, I saw a different side. I was like, man, where these Black folks come from? I like, where are these problems they're having? Man, this stuff doesn't exist. And then I think my man, I can't remember his name. One of the, more well-known cats, the man, Mike Shinnery. He said one day on a panel, like, man, have y'all folks ever been around white people? Just listening, the way they were talking about white people was like the chupacabra or something. And like the white man was this big, bad, scary thing.
A lot of people don't know what the chupacabra is.
Oh, like Bigfoot.
Yeah. Except he looks like a skinned wolf or something.
Wolf dog, the Mexican Bigfoot, basically.
Yeah, Mexican Bigfoot. That's what it is.
Yeah, so me being, in the manosphere, yeah, I mean, of course, I really didn't say nothing until politics came up. But for the most part, I was just an asshole. You know, a bully, an asshole, but you couldn't argue my facts. You couldn't argue my points because I was about all this masculinity. I was for men's rights, and that was that. But when this politics stuff came up and everybody's with this whole, racism, I mean, go against Nate, bro. I believe in racism. It's just everybody's got a little racism in them. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going nowhere because everybody's got a little racist in them. But the systemic stuff everybody was talking about and all these other things, I was like, where the fuck does this happen at? My life is the opposite. And then as my bank account exploded up under Trump, up under COVID, the only people who considered me a nigga was black folks for being conservative. Well, the N-bomb. A nigga, coon, bootstrap nigga, whatever. All the other words. The only people I got that from was other black folks. So no, I mean, to me, man, it's all comedy. I'm like, I love where I live. I love living out here amongst everybody. It's majority white, but it's like Hispanic, some black folks out here, all upper middle class. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I live in the cut and would not trade it.
Yeah, I'd agree. Shout out to DeMac the Trucker for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that, brother. He said, salute T.P.O.T and the heavy hitters on the panel. You drop coins on this platform, you get this. I appreciate you dropping your hard-earned coins on this platform. Go ahead.
Yeah, may I ask Trey a question really quick?
Go ahead. You got it. Go ahead, Brother Bernard.
What exactly is a cosplay Pookie?
All right. When I was an Army brat up until I was 5. My dad retired from the military, and instead of moving back to Mississippi, he decided to go to Virginia since that was his first duty assignment. So 81, for the most part, black folks still lived up under each other. So his Army best buddy, mom lived in Cavalier Manor in P-Town, that famous hood in VA. So my dad found us a house there, and it was, and right across the street from where we lived at was the projects. And there was a strong delineation between, now you can't even tell the difference, but it was a strong line because the hood, everybody had dads. Everybody was still broke, but we all had dads. And across the street in the projects, those are all them single mom raised dudes. And this is 81. And so like every day outside, you fought or you got your ass whooped. And then, coming up, man, the craziness, 82, 83, 84, stuff just started to get crazier. And then when crack came around, shit went completely stupid, insane. So if you didn't fight or play the game, like you would basically get eaten alive. And I got to the point where, being athletic and stuff like that, and then being intelligent, I had 2-ups on them. But at the same time, I knew how to fight. I could fight my ass off, and I beat up a couple dudes, and I started getting a reputation. So then I just started beating up dudes for fun. And I got to the point where I became the bully. And I turned into, even my parents moved me up out the neighborhood, when I started getting in trouble with the law, every weekend I was back in the old hood. I was back kicking with my homies and stuff. And eventually it just, after I got shot, that's when it hit me like, dude, you've been acting all these years. What the fuck is wrong with you? This is not who you are. And that's why I say I played the role all those years.
Gotcha. It's basically somebody just essentially just acting like a Pookie. Not really a Pookie, but they're just acting like one. They just,
yep.
Essentially. Yeah, gotcha.
Don't feel bad, Bernard. I literally don't understand half of what Trey says when he's on my platform. I literally don't understand.
Now I've just put this background up, and all of these black men on this background all of them are very accomplished black men. You have lawyers, doctors, judges. I believe the first black senators, Obama's on there, and everybody are like, Marcus Garvey, you name it, they're kind of up there, right? Now, I don't see, when I look at these pictures, you see people like Frederick Douglass up there and whatnot. I don't see a mural of niggas. That's not what I see when I see this mural of people. It's not what I see. Now, others will say, well, all these people up here, they just a bunch of niggas too. And that's where my problem is. It's one thing if you say, X, you just a nigga no matter what you do. That's one thing. But when you say that about people like George Washington Carver, when you say that about people like Malcolm X, when you say that about people like Barack Obama, Jack Johnson, Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali, I mean, when you say those things about those particular black men, I think I take it more personally than if you said it about me. Okay? Because let's be clear. A lot of the people that we would say, oh, they still just a nigga or whatever. A lot of these people have accomplished things, man, that many of us will never accomplish. No matter how long we live, we will never accomplish what a lot of these men have accomplished. So that alone pulls them up out of that category. And one more thing. People who have risen to a certain level, whether it be financially, whether it be to what they do for a living, what they do in politics, how they live, the families they build. Once you have achieved a particular level at these things or level of these things, that alone takes you out of that category, I believe. Okay, because I think that for someone to be classified as a quote unquote nigga per se, I think that speaks to the things they do, how they live, what effect they have on the collective, the effect they have on the perception of the collective. I think all of that plays a part in it. And when I look at the men that are on this mural behind all of our avatars, every pretty much everything they accomplished had a positive effect on black folks, not a negative effect. I don't think black people are worse off because of these people, but I do believe that black people are worse off because of the influence of niggas, if y'all can understand what I'm saying. But we've been joined by my brother Supreme is in the house, brother SKC. But don't say nothing yet. Don't say nothing, because I have to shout out brother Charles Merchant with the $10 super chat. Appreciate that, brother Charles. He says, is it me or does Bernard Riley look like SoCal rapper AMG? I don't
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, me
no.
Me neither.
I have no idea who that is.
Me neither.
He used to be in like the crew with DJ Quick, Mac 10, and all them when they used to like who else? Q back in was the Gorillas in the Mist, the Lynch Mob days.
Oh, now I'm shocked I don't know, because that was an era of rap when I used to actually listen, but I still don't know. They did Bitch Better Have My Money, AMG.
Oh.
Gorillas in the Mist, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I used to listen to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you get this anyway, brother Charles Merchant, even though we disagree with you. I appreciate you dropping your hard-earned coins on this platform. Brother Supreme, I'm assuming the young fella's feeling a little better because you're here. You got it.
No, it's called having a kind wife.
Oh, okay. I can relate. Go ahead. You got it, bro.
Oh yeah.
I can't. I can't.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody.
I can't.
I didn't hear the very beginning. And I apologize if I'm being redundant, but I was when this subject came up. Immediately, the thing popped into my head when I saw Bernard come on. Um, the other day when we were talking, Bernard, there was a gentleman we were talking with, and something like this came up where there was a situation where I guess his response was, well, if you go over there, what happens to you happens to you.
Oh my good.
Over
Yeah.
where?
Okay, so
A white
and what I
neighborhood. You go to
Oh,
a white
whoa!
he said you move into a white neighborhood and then whatever happens to you, then that's just what happens to you. You go over there. That's what
yeah,
he said.
What are you more likely to have
and
problems in, a black poor neighborhood or a white one?
and I think that kind of leads to the conversation of what you're talking about, Xavier. So far as no matter what, you still um, I, I think it should be recognized that that line of thinking comes from other black men.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's a thing of, you're trying to push some type of scare tactic on, someone else, but it just seems a very odd way of thinking that since you do not agree with a certain subset of how you should move or what you should be into or how you should live your life, that something bad is going to occur to you because we already know. Like there's this there's this this automatic thing that is supposed to happen to you if you step outside of the group.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I just I think that's kind of sad. It takes away from people being able to exercise their freedom, their exercise free will, to be exploratory in nature, and to expand their worldview. So, but I'll just leave it at that because I don't want
Well,
to.
well, do you think that, and I'll ask everybody this. Do you think that, let me rephrase, because I think there's a certain segment of black society that has abandonment issues. Um, they feel like, remember we spoke about this the other day, Brother Supreme, that they feel like if you do a certain thing, achieve a certain thing, move to a certain part of town, work a certain job, or make a certain amount of money, that you have now not only abandoned your mama, but you've abandoned theirs. Um,
Well, to a certain degree, yeah, I could see how that line of thought could come up, but personally, and this is something I'm exploring. I haven't fully developed it yet, but I feel I think I okay. All of the people that's on the back of this picture here,
mhm,
you have so many people from Thurgood Marshall all the way to Frederick Douglass and so forth. Um, the things that they accomplished, those are great things. I didn't accomplish them though. So this taking pride in what someone else accomplished based upon skin color, I think that's just ridiculous. To me, it's just like, how does that accomplishment, how does that
well,
I
serve?
can answer that when you're ready.
I don't I can understand if it was some it was like some type of group that accomplished something and it had I don't know, some type of direct impact on my life. I get that. But a lot of the people in the pictures that you have listed here, um, a lot of their accomplishments were them accomplishing something, not a community or a group. And oftentimes, because they were wayward in their thinking of group, the group ostracized them for a lot of the decisions and accomplishments that they made. And it
Facts.
wasn't until they were dead that they were celebrated.
Yes. Yes. I
I
agree.
can answer that if
Go,
you want me to.
go ahead, brother Big Nate.
All
You
right.
got it.
I think black people's children in this country is unique. It just is, and knowing the blatant and overt racism many of those men faced to accomplish those goals, in spite of that type of racism, I think deserves acknowledgement. And I got no problem connecting those men to me through not just skin color, but the potential for a shared history. Now, although we don't experience that type of racism today, not even close, we're still black people in this country, those who want to identify as that. And I ain't forcing nobody to identify as anything. My problem is that the way you honor these men is to continue to basically one up them. How come we're not there should be a wall of men that have accomplished similar things,
Facts.
actually better things, because we don't have the impediments that they had, not even close. There should be walls and walls and walls and walls of, and again, this is for black people that want to celebrate that. Whatever group of people want to do something, I'm for it. If a bunch of white guys want to have a country club to themselves, go for it. Y'all know how I get down. I believe that there are tribes. I believe we are groups. Doesn't mean you exclude somebody. It doesn't mean that you take who and what you are, ball it up like a magazine, and beat other people over the head with it. No, there's a serious deficit in racial maturity. But yeah, we do have a shared experience. I have a shared experience with these men because, again, we have a shared history. There's a good chance we like a lot of the same things, music wise, food wise. Most black men are still attracted to, shapely, attractive black women. There are some things that connect us. And again, I'm not saying that's true of every black person. Do what works for you. But
Well,
go ahead.
well, yeah. Well, let me take a stab at it like this to respond to what SKC said, because I'm in line with what you're saying, little big Nate. I just want to try to look at it. Let's take black out of it. Let's take black people out of it.
Okay.
Let's just take somebody who's from Spain, okay, and they just watched their I don't know, their soccer team compete in the Olympics and win the gold medal. Their their team is stepping up on the little podium or whatever, getting a gold medal placed on them. Their national anthem playing in the background. Somebody who lived in Spain, grew up there their whole life. Their fathers from there. That's their culture, their history, their heritage. They see their people being honored with a great accomplishment in front of the world. You don't think that it's reasonable that they would feel just some sense of pride with that? So that's why I don't understand how you could say you don't see how somebody could think just because these these people are, oh well, we're the same skin color, so therefore you don't understand looking at what they accomplished and feeling some sense of pride about it. Like just
Oh,
look at it with the example I gave with just people from Spain looking at something their people accomplished and feeling just a sense of pride about it.
I'll respond to that, Bernard. I'm with SKC on this, and I'll tell you the difference here. Like, there is nothing that the Jamaican flag does for me, minus the fact that I'm glad my mom was born there and came over here as a baby. That's it. Zero. I could care less, about anything Jamaica. When you give the reference to somebody from Spain, I look at that as the red, white, and blue. That is my flag. I'm American. I can go back, to my great grandfather, on my dad's side. I can go that far back. So that's my father's 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 father. Exactly what you just said. And when I lived in every foreign country overseas, when the United States will be playing a basketball game, a soccer game, or anything American, all the Americans of every shade would come together and celebrate America. All you would see was US flags. That's every foreign country I've been to. When America did something, we all got together and celebrated. But here's the
Mhm.
problem with Black America. For the last, I don't know how long, well, I know how long, in 1921, when them damn commies set into their plan to basically divide this nation apart and use black people, all of a sudden they wiped out 60 years of American black history. All those prosperous years of black Republicans, black conservatives doing big, great things, wonderful things, it all got wiped away. So black history starts with 1921, Tulsa, basically. And for 100 years, black folks have been taught to be this tribe, to be this, to, ride it out on somebody else's, accomplishments just based on skin color. No, you go out and get it on your own. If those black men did something as far as the army, which paved the way for my father to join the army in 54, cool. I can appreciate that. Or they did something as far as football, yeah, I could do that. But any of those other men, nah. Everything they did was specifically for the for the betterment of the United States of America. And that is our problem. I ain't even gonna say our, because I told you I don't identify with it. The brothers that identify it, that's their problem. They are seeing black as a tribe versus American as their tribe. It's been 400 years. You're American at this point. There is no Negro, Blackistan, Zamunda, Wakanda, none of it.
Well,
Yeah,
this is
And
a
I have.
my
question
only
that
issue is that, and
Okay.
we've had this conversation. I'm sorry, SKC, just real quick. My problem with that is the only people, in my personal opinion, you tell that to are black people, Trey. You don't tell that to any of these other groups who
How
put their group first.
who am I married to, Nate?
A Dominican lady, from what I understand.
Okay, who are most of my followers on my channel? White.
I would assume they're white. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody hears what I've had to say for the longest. Nate, I led soldiers for 21 years of every creed, shade, color, gender. I even led freaking gay dudes who confided in me when Don't Ask, Don't Tell was going on that they were homosexual. And I treated everyone equal. They were all Americans. If they were ready to bleed next to me, ready to give their life up and die next to me, they were my brothers.
I see color and I treat all Americans fairly and equally.
so
I don't think that's
question
exclusive.
question,
I'm
Nate.
not seeing color. Go ahead.
Here we have like at the top right of X's back poster, he had Thurgood Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is Thurgood Marshall, his wife, and his firstborn.
Mm-hmm.
Look like he's getting a jab. Is he getting a
Yeah.
jab? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead,
hope
Brother
not.
Supreme. Go ahead, Brother Supreme.
And this is what, mid-50s. What was the community saying about Thurgood Marshall? What were they saying? Oh yeah, that's our guy.
Oh no, Martin Luther King was attacked. Thurgood Marshall was attacked.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
like
just
you
saying.
said, these guys aren't appreciated. Go ahead.
No. I'm just saying, just based on this, what do you really believe that at this time the community was saying? Oh yeah, that's our guy. He's accomplishing great stuff.
Back in the 50s and 60s, were they saying?
No, they didn't
What
want him. They didn't want him to make trouble. That was
was
the issue.
this?
They felt that he was stirring up things. But go
Was
ahead.
this before or after? Because what a lot of people know about Brother Thurgood Marshall is he was the lawyer who represented Brown versus the Board of
Board of Ed.
Education. Was this before or after that, Brother Supreme?
I'm not sure,
Okay.
but I do know human tendencies and the time frame of which we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Black people of today.
I don't really. You can't really sit up here and tell me that from L.A. to D.C. that black folk were just standing behind Thurgood Marshall and saying, "Oh yeah, him and his heart, they're cool. That's our guy.
No. I agree with you completely, especially for black people today. They don't acknowledge if you showed that picture.
No, I'm saying then.
Then I think a larger portion of black people acknowledged and respected his accomplishments. Still, maybe not the majority, but I think a more significant group did back then.
And that's what I'm talking about, Nate. So
Okay.
far as to romanticize things as if, oh man, you have this community behind you that's there for you with every step that you take, and your accomplishments are their accomplishments, and their accomplishments.
No, I don't
It's
believe
like
that.
no.
No,
This
but
was this guy. He was stepping into he branched out and did something different from what the community told him to do. And when he achieved great,
Wait, what did the community tell him to do?
huh? Do
He
you
said
do
he
you
did
really
something.
do you really think the community was telling him, nah, all of these choices that you're making here with your family, that's cool with us?
so what exactly did they tell him what to do, though? I'm curious.
Well, is
Yeah.
she Asian or something? What's the
Yeah.
problem? Oh, I thought she might have been like a light-skinned black man. Okay, so she's Asian. So your contention is that black people would have had a problem with his Asian wife.
They did have a problem with his Asian wife.
They did.
Right?
I didn't know that. I
They
didn't know
did
that.
have a problem with his Asian wife.
Interesting. Very
Okay,
Yeah,
we can take
SKC.
it back. You can take it back even further to the top left. You have Frederick Douglass on there.
Yeah, he had a white wife.
What
Yeah, he had a white
happened?
wife.
What happened with Frederick Douglass?
Wasn't his second wife white or something?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
his
And what
first-
happened
he
with
left
that?
he left his black wife when, like, basically kind of like SYSBM cats do now. He saw the
I
light
believe
because
his black wife passed away,
She passed away. Yeah.
and then
Well, again,
he
this to
settled
me
down
is
with the white lady.
racial immaturity. That's what I think it is. I think it's racial
And-
immaturity.
What do you mean?
I'm not saying just to hone in on this as like a personal thing. I'm just saying, when I see these guys, I see, these are people that made different decisions with their lives. Yes, they took a lot of flack for what they did,
SKC,
but
I don't
then
see.
after they died, that's when black people put them on the poster.
I don't see the dots you're connecting. These men, like when you look at what they accomplished, people either look at them and could get a sense of pride about them for what they did or what they accomplished. Their greatest accomplishment was, oh my bad. Their greatest accomplishment wasn't having an Asian or a white wife. I don't even know why that's part of the
Right.
discussion.
well,
No.
I'll tell you,
Yeah,
Bernard.
look at
Here's
Sammy
why.
Davis Jr. You have Harry Belafonte. Hell, you had Quincy. You know how he got down, but he still was
Jack Johnson,
praised
sure.
around black
Having a
people.
wife.
Jack Johnson.
Well,
You know.
I'll tell you the significance of this photo is that I told you this is communism. This is showing black people to unite around skin color, because I'm telling you, there is no freaking Irish, German, Chinese, Vietnamese, Cambodian, Polish, Mexican freaking mural like this anywhere. They tried it. Well, they tried it on Mexicans, and Mexicans were like, hell no, fuck that shit. We're individuals. No other a nationality that came over here, this is worked on. It only worked on black people. This is a communist ploy
I've
to
seen
get them.
Hispanic leaders on
Well,
murals.
Not Hispanic, Nate. Not Hispanic. Listen to me. That word, hold up real quick, SKC. That word Hispanic means absolutely nothing. They tried it on people. I told my wife is Dominican. She has nothing in common with Hondurans
What
or
about
freaking
Latino?
Mexicans.
Can I use Latino?
No, they have nothing in common. They're completely different from Puerto Ricans
I
and
don't know what to
Cubans.
tell you, dog.
Trey.
They're not
Well,
the
Trey.
same people.
Well, hold up
Trey, hold
a
on,
second.
Trey, real
Hold
quick. This is an important question, Trey. These
Yes.
groups that you're saying are completely individualistic in everything that they do. You don't think that they make moves or vote or do things that that are in line that will help their group gain more political or socioeconomic power? You don't think they move in like that at all?
No,
even if
no,
they say,
hold up.
even if they publicly say the the right universal egalitarian feel goodery stuff, you don't think that they're making
Notice what I
moves
said.
for power for their people?
Hold up. I never said that. Notice what I said. I said there's no mural joining people together by skin color to basically cause people to come around for this mythical ideology of celebration because to convince you that you're not American, to convince you to put a hyphen in
Right.
there.
And
Now,
I'm
if you're
with you.
here,
I'm
let
with
me
you.
hold on, let me
think they're
finish.
trying to
Let
convince
let
me
me
I'm
let
not
me
American.
finish. Let me finish. Now, like I mentioned, the people I mentioned, Germans, Irish, Italians, Polish, Cambodians, Vietnamese, all these people came over here 100+ years after black folks and had basically at the end of the day, if they chose to, a nationality from which their peoples came to revolve around. So if they decided, hey, let's form this German community and like give back to Germany, cool, that was fine. They could revolve around that. Now, that being the same for black folks is this. The black people that went to Liberia and went over there and instituted white supremacy, then guess what? If they wanted to have an American society and turn around to give back to the US, because at that point they were American, that would be the equivalent.
Mexicans send back approximately 60 to 65% of their money that they
Good.
make here to Mexico.
That's what I said, Nate. I'm not arguing that. What I'm saying is that black folks have this fictitious hyphen that was not put into place by them. It was put into place by the commies in 1920-ish. And black people have fallen for it, hook, line, and sinker. And now the rest of the country is falling into this communist stuff.
I agree that black people are essentially doing it wrong.
Yes.
And I think black people suffer from, not, I be having to always remind people on my show that you do realize we are Americans. You do realize we pay taxes and fund the government, and we are part of this. We put in on it. This is our stuff too. Like I have to remind people of that all the time. So,
We got 5 on it. Just
Hell
like
yeah,
everybody else.
this is my shit.
Yeah,
Let me,
so I can agree with you. Let me just say this, and just the last thing I'll say on this. I can agree with you, Trey and SKC, that black people have been doing it wrong and we're too obsessed with race. I can acknowledge that, but then I still can feel some, I guess just inner tribalism or sense of pride and feeling, like we're feeling that we don't like, a feeling of just wanting to see my people, I'll say, do better.
Hey, where did that come from?
I
Bernard, where did
can't,
that my people come from? Where did it come from?
the same place that everybody else got it from.
No, no, where did it come from?
community
said
says it
most
exists.
No, it
deaf.
didn't. Where did it get? No. Hey,
Hold on a
question.
second. Hold on a second, because I want to get to Brother Art, but I want to get these super chats out the way. Shout out to Charles Merchant. I appreciate you, Brother Charles, longtime supporter of the T.P.O.T YouTube page. He says the last 20 white supremacists left are like, yes, the pro-blacks keep our name alive.
Right.
I appreciate that, Brother Charles. You get this. I appreciate you dropping your hard-earned coins on this platform. Also, shout out to Lady Snuggles for the $5 super chat. She says, good morning, gentlemen. Can any of you all tell me what would Jesus do and what would Lucifer say? I will be waiting. Boy, your answers.
Wow.
she's probably serious.
Appreciate that, Lady Snuggles. You
She
get
spends
this?
money to say these things.
I appreciate you dropping your hard-earned coins on this platform. And also, awesome Alice with the $10 super chat. She says, at the end of the day, we all bleed the same color. Red, if you're a citizen, you're just American. It's not the point of being colorblind. It's the fact. The fact, do realize you are a part of colorful group called American. Okay, lady. Awesome Alice. I appreciate that. You get this. I appreciate you dropping your hard-earned coins on this platform.
Xavier,
Yes, sir.
you know you're a coon taking money from white women.
Goddamn right. I don't care if they
Okay.
purple or they
I
drop
just
it.
want you to know.
They can
I
be
just want
purple,
you
green, blue, black, orange, purple polka dots. God damn it, you drop coins, you get the damn drop coin drop. But
taking white women's green money is the drop.
absolutely. And guess what? The black woman that live in this house with me
She gonna spend it.
has no problem with it.
Good
But
deal. Good deal.
I want to get to my man, brother Art. But before you go, brother Art, let me ask you, because I know you're a professor, you're a teacher, and I know you teach primarily black students, right?
No, it's mostly Latinos now.
Oh, okay. So, is it a black way to teach? When you teach, are you teaching them, nigger style? Are you? I mean, is there a way? Or let me ask you, do you think that your Latino students, even though you are a tenured teacher, a tenured freaking professor, do you think your Latino students
fair.
and or
I,
their parents, do they see you just as some nigga, even though you are
man,
a professor?
don't get me started. Well, here's the thing, and this sort of, and by the way, everybody on the panel has some valid points, but I lean more towards Bernard and Little Big Nate. Um, and here's the thing that we're looking at. As far as, I mean, I'm just going to go by, where I'm at, according to your question. Now, I have like predominantly Latino students, and if the flip side of that poster is like Biggie, Tupac, Snoop, Easy E, the other side, right? Now, guess what? You got a lot of Mexicans around there. They got them on T-shirts. They don't got Obama on the shirt. They don't have Malcolm. They don't have Martin. They got all these people that we call nigger culture, and they embrace it. They really embrace it. Matter of fact, if I'm about that, we friends. You see what I'm saying? So it's very important that you embrace the greatness of your elk, regardless of y'all know each other, whatever, and to inspire people to go in that pathway, like people do in my fraternity, right? So we do that, but unfortunately, I think like what you were saying in the beginning, there's too much pushback for that. It's like, that's where you start being called a coon or a sellout because you're trying to aim high and be, the best of anything. And so when you start dealing with my teaching style, it's weird is because, some students do come around and try to do the whole yo-yo type stuff. And I'm like, why are you saying that to me? Because it seemed like when they see me, they turn it up a little bit, and I kill the fantasy. I'm like, no, brother, I'm just a regular teacher, you know. Uh, and that's the thing is that the more we keep embracing the greatness like you have on the poster, see, we do have some people that's like that on the poster. They just don't get all the airplay and everything. We do got some, but not a lot. Um, But as far as my way, as far as teaching what a black style or what I think however you ask because you're getting cut out because I have nigga wireless. No, I'm joking. But I think basically I think it's based on how you carry yourself and if you think about it, the way I carry myself with my students, they have no choice but to go to those to those people in the back of your background. So I'm always showing that and projecting that. Unfortunately, we have to every now and then we have to keep correcting people. Like, no, we don't all hold our nuts. We don't all sag our pants. We don't all
Most
say
of us
nigga this,
don't.
nigga that.
Most of us
You know what
don't.
I'm saying? I have to always have to correct that. You know what I'm saying? So that's my issue on some of this stuff that we keep going through. But go ahead, y'all. Did I
I
answer your
want
question though?
Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I wanted to chime in real quick. Still a nigga it means two different things depending on who's saying it. I know Muhammad Ali said, well, the minister said about 15 years ago, Ali said to him, still a nigga. This is what the minister said. He and Ali were talking, and Ali had Parkinson's, and his speech patterns are broken. But he said to the minister, still a nigga. Now, what Ali means is that in spite of his accomplishments, there might be some white people who still look at him that way. Now, when black people say you ain't nothing but a nigga, especially black men. When black men say that, it's a way to get out of acknowledging how little they've accomplished. And that there are men like me, like Trey, like Bernard, like Xavier, like the professor, who have accomplished things in an environment that's a lot less unfriendly than our fathers and their fathers did. And a lot of, unfortunately, leftist black men, Democrat black men, will do anything in their power to avoid the acknowledgement that there is a hierarchy to black men, to men, period. But there's a hierarchy to black men too. And it's all about you not looking at all I haven't done with my life.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
That's an interesting point. And I need to speak on that because you said something earlier, brother Big Nate. You talked about black men doing better and being better. And I think that's the crucial word, better. And what I mean when I say that is, for instance, if, like you said, someone can look at an accomplished person, all right? You can look at a brother Art, all right, or a brother Trey who has his own business, or even me, and a guy who still lives in grandma's basement, and he's 40 years old, and you hear because the boilers are firing over in his room. He will look at what an accomplished black man does and says, "Oh, well, you're just a nigger." And what they're really saying is, just because you've done X, Y, and Z in your life, you're not better than me.
Exactly.
You're not better than me. But see what they're missing, and I believe everybody on this panel will agree that what they're missing is it's not about being better than you. It's that some people have made better decisions than you.
Yeah. Talk about that Christmas dinner, Xavier.
All right. They've made better decisions than you. All right. And people will look at it, and they look at these things just like you said. That's to say, oh, you're just a nigger. It doesn't matter that you make $10 million a year. You're just a nigger.
Oh, really?
See, what is that? What that does is, like you said, brother Big Nate, what it does is compensates, I guess, for them mentally
Absolutely.
for not have achieving
Anything.
any modicum of success. You haven't made any achievements, no accomplishments. So it's easy to go ahead and say an accomplished black brother is still just a nigger, because I guess mentally you're kind of I guess trying to bring him to your level. So
Now,
to
they
speak.
do have one
Speaking my
accomplishment, brother Xavier. Pussy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Low caliber apple cider vinegar vagina. That's their accomplishment.
Yeah, dragging them down in grandma's basement and shit.
Yes, and they go. That's the
yeah,
scariest part.
And
You're
the reason
fucking
why
a 40-year-old guy that lives in the basement. Wow.
and the reason why I talked about the Christmas dinner, or even Thanksgiving, there's always a relative or somebody you haven't seen in a while, down his luck, made all the wrong decisions, and when you come there, you're not even saying anything, but people are saying, "Wow, you must be doing good where you at." Blah blah. They're listening and just staring at you with this hate, and then they're waiting on the opportunity to ask you the one question: do you think you better than me?
And just
Yes,
like
I
I
do.
said,
Yes, I do.
that question of are you still just a nigga comes from black folk. It don't come from anybody else. Black folk are the only one that's gonna see you like that.
Okay, bro. Keep living in dreamland. Thank you, brother.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Excellent view.
we
I
have been
appreciate it.
we have
Look,
been
man. Hey,
joined
y'all,
by.
look,
Hold on,
y'all
let
on
me
some
Oh
bullshit,
introduce
God,
man.
you. Hold
man,
on.
who
Let,
introduced TVA?
let
Who
Y'all on
invited
some
TVA
bullshit,
up
man.
here?
Ah, yeah.
Oh
we
God,
have we have
So
been
every
nigga
joined
other
shit
group,
by
time.
every other
brother
group sees them.
TVA.
Every
God
other
damn it.
group sees
Oh
themselves
God,
as just American. They don't care about race. Black people are
oh
the only
God.
ones that care about race, right? Right? We're the only ones that care about tribalism and race and culture. So
I'm gonna mute
what
up
about
y'all till
organizations like
TVA is
La
gone.
Raza? Organizations like La Raza, APOC, Jewish people have their own group,
Yes.
Hispanic people have their own groups, Irish people have groups,
We
Native
agree,
Americans
TVA.
have groups. Okay, Asians have their own groups, right?
Hey, so do we. We got the Crips,
Okay.
Bloods,
So then why are you claiming that
GDs.
only black people care about race, brother? That's bullshit.
Hey, we got the Crips, Bloods, GDs, Jamaican
That has
Posse.
nothing to do
Who
with race.
else?
You got
Nah,
gangs in
Trey,
every group. You have
don't make a
criminal
joke, Trey,
organizations in
because
every group.
Well,
No, I'm just joking.
hold on a
Yo,
second.
shout
Hold
out
on
to
a
the
second.
cat.
Let
Shout
me
out to
get
the
this.
cats. Hold up, real quick, Xavier. Shout out to the GDs, and all them cats out there repping they set. I'm just picking with TVA.
Nah, man, fuck them
God, and
gang
I'm
niggas,
sure
man.
nobody's ever said shout out to the GDs
Man,
before on the panel.
fuck them gang, fuck them gang dudes. You ain't getting no love up here, motherfuckers. I don't. Fuck no, you ain't getting no love up here.
I'm trolling TVA.
Shout out to Awesome Alice again with the $5 super chat.
Shit.
Here's 5 more bones. Capitalism is beautiful, not white. I am ginger native woman, Mr. Nate. Native name is Little Rainbow, given by the Cherokee Nation.
Interesting.
Appreciate that.
$5
super
Indian.
chat.
Shout out.
You get this. I appreciate you dropping your hard-earned coins on this platform. Yeah,
What is
so
wrong with acknowledging that some black men are better than others? What's wrong with acknowledging that, guys? If we're gonna get better, we're gonna have to acknowledge that some guys are just better, some guys are just stronger, depending on the context, of course. But some guys are just better. They should be in the lead. Listen to them, fall in line. What's wrong with that?
I think
Equality
everybody
is a
agrees with that.
feminine ideology, dog. The idea
Well,
that we're all equal is straight feminine, dog.
yeah,
what
that's
that
stupid.
I
what
agree.
I think that's
Because
what TVA is saying,
if we're
and
gonna talk about how to fix commercial vehicles, how to repair commercial vehicles, right? Are we gonna come to Little Big Nate, or we gonna go to Brother X? We're gonna go to the one that knows what the fuck he's talking about, has
well,
years of
TVA,
experience, has his own
TVA.
fucking garage.
I
So
think
yeah,
everybody
let's
agrees with that.
defer to the people that know what they're talking about, the better
I think
ones.
I think everybody agrees with that, TVA.
No
Everybody
argument here.
agrees with the
No
idea
argument here.
that there are some people that just do things better. They make better decisions. I don't think that's in question.
The
Um,
problem is media. Why do black people keep accepting media that tells them the opposite of everything we're saying up here?
well, I think it has a lot to do with um, the tribal effect of people wanting to um, belong to something, and I think because you have an influx of or a plague rather of broken families, then
Mm.
that had that desire to belong to something becomes even stronger. Because I just don't. I, it's weird to me. I think that this desire to have such a pull on race and color is an overcompensation for something else that's missing.
Well, I'll tell you this: as far SKC, you brought up the whole media part. Look at what's going on now with over here near me in Del Rio, Texas. This whole Haitians at the border getting chased around by people on a
Oh,
horse. All that is basically a jab on, of course, the freaking snowflake white liberals, but mainly for most black folks. They want black people to hearken back to the myth they have of what slavery they've been told slavery was like, to look at these Haitians. All these celebrities in the media, maybe, excuse me, not celebrities, but news media folks are now saying, oh, this is worse than slavery, what they're doing out
oh
there.
my God.
Oh, all that is basically to get the emotions of black people amped up over this whole attachment to skin color. That's what the media does.
And if we were racially mature, I don't have no connection to them goddamn Haitians under that bridge. None. God bless them, but you can only come into this country correctly. And that goes, I don't care what your skin color is. You get in line and you come in here with the appropriate paperwork and going through the motions.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit what color you are.
but isn't that it though? People expect you to identify
Yeah,
with
that
those
is true.
Haitians down there
Yes.
because see, we all black.
I have more in common with my white neighbor 2 doors down than I ever would that Haitian. Because of culturally, we grew up in the same place. So it never boils down to just skin color with me. It's much more nuanced than that. But no, I don't connect with those Haitians. Those Haitians are illegals trying to get in our country, and they're going to get on the public dole, and the Democrats will want to give them the ability to vote, canceling my vote. Hell no. No, sir.
Well, one of the things, the whole reason of why I brought up the background with those individuals is just to point out an example to show, yes, you can get on the wall, but after you're dead. If you have even in 2021, when you have people that are doing great things, if they follow that life pattern like Frederick Douglass or Thurgood Marshall, the community instantly says, "We don't care what you did." No, but once they're dead, oh yeah, now and other people, acknowledge all the stuff and blah. Yes, now, oh no, that was one of us. But we can't talk about what they were doing in their personal life. We can't talk about that.
Yeah,
sad.
I'm kind of down with that though, because, like I said again, a lot of people love this whole Ray Charles story, right? But when we saw the movie, we didn't know how much of a heroin addict he was. But yet he's hella celebrated, and he's still celebrated even after that too. Me personally, I don't think it's important to even know someone's personal life, but at the same time, it shouldn't be used against you either.
Martin was a serial adulterer. A serial adulterer. He cheated on his wife with a lot of white women too, from what I understand. It's just the truth.
Hey, I'm glad you brought up Ray Charles there, Art, because his contemporary Stevie Wonder, unlike Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder has been blind since he was born.
Right.
Now, last year, Stevie Wonder got all into this Black Lives Matter movement. I'm moving to Africa because of discrimination and all this skin. How does Stevie Wonder know he's black? I'm just saying.
Because somebody
Stevie
told
Wonder, he has no concept. Thank you.
It's the same way a blind man can be high. It's the same way a blind man can be high.
How? Somebody, he can feel that. How can he feel he's black?
Because most of the high is based on vision, right?
Stevie Wonder.
No.
Stevie Wonder.
I'm high right now. Shit, I ain't vision.
Hold on, Trace. Trace.
Get out of here. Okay, man.
Stevie Wonder can hear, feel, and smell the racism. So he knows what's going on.
Oh my God.
Nice.
That is an excellent point, though.
He probably got a good risk game, just like Ray Charles did. So check their risk.
We do such a disservice to ourselves as men. Anytime I've had, really not on my panel, but I've seen men on other panels. 99% of the racism that's been talked about in the Black manosphere is racism that the guys talking about it are living vicariously through somebody on TV. I have asked these men, I want to know about the racism you faced in the last year, in the last 3 years. I give you 60 months. Tell me how much racism you faced. What the hell are you getting so angry about? The supposed, I don't know if it's racism or not. I don't know if George Floyd was racism. As a matter of fact, I'm going to bend that it probably wasn't. You know, unless you got a Facebook of those officers, you know, hailing Hitler and with their, you know, skinhead outfits and Nazi shit, I'm not just going to automatically assume that it's racism. I'm sorry. You got to give me something besides white skin. But
yeah, well, doesn't it appear, okay? Now I don't want to get too much off topic, but doesn't it appear that if at any time, if there's any type of situation that includes a black person and a white person, it's automatically billed as racism. Automatically, it cannot be that maybe this person just doesn't like this person, because I saw a video where a black woman and a white woman got to fighting, right, in a store somewhere, right? And there were no crackers mentioned. There was no niggas mentioned. They was just two broads out there fighting. Now, underneath the video, of course, they were like, "Oh no, that white person is racist," but the white person didn't say one nigga, didn't say one monkey or ape or none of that shit. They was just basically two chicks brawling. But someone made it seem racist just for the simple fact that it's a white person and a black person. Everything that goes on between black people and white people is automatically billed as racist, even if there's no visual or audio proof of said racism. The simple fact that there's a black person and a white person makes it racism. And usually, you know who it makes it racism to the most? Us.
Oh yeah, but let me comment on that if I can. Oh, go ahead, fam.
Well, I was just going to say real quick, Art, just to make it clear before we go into this discussion about the racism thing, can it just be accepted right now from the outset that we already know that we have people who overplay racism, and then we also have people who overplay that there is no racism? And the reality is that it's something something in the middle, but it is not where it was in the days of Jim Crow.
Who's the larger group, SKC?
I don't know. I just wanted to at least
I think one group overwhelms the other.
That was a good Solomon approach, but the thing that I think somebody mentioned the media. I think that's probably the most important thing that we keep we don't look at it enough. Even in like this part of my lecture, but even some of the movies like Darth Vader versus Luke Skywalker, the Klingons versus what's his name, Khan versus Captain Kirk. There's always this dark against light dynamic in storytelling, even in the news. And so yes, we buy into it, but the thing is, you got to remember, most people buy into it because they don't do enough research on where it's coming from and who's it affecting. So that's the part that, if we can solve that mystery, then that might help out a little bit, because it's always going to be. I remember Botham John, the guy in Texas that got killed. Me and my students, we were picking apart some of the editorial. They didn't say she killed a man. They didn't even say that. They didn't even call her C. They just said, "Hey, we have reported a white woman killed a black man." I'm just paraphrasing, but they were really stressing out on that, and we were like,
"Well, there's a reason for that."
Yeah, they were really pushing it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if they would just say it just like a woman cop killed a black man eating ice cream, nobody would even care.
Now, Art, I gave you the answer, bro, as to why we're told this. I told you, 1920, communism. One of their main goals. What's that dude, Saul Alinsky, the other dude, Yuri Bezmenov. They've all said that the goal of communism was to eventually control the media. Now that they control the media, the only thing being pumped into everybody's eyes is white versus black. It's been that way for 100 years. It's just finally really. Yeah, it's just finally getting off the ground to where it's really sinking in. And what they had to do first was get the degradation of Black America. And that degradation had to be done through the emasculation of black men, because black men with the shits, truly masculine motherfuckers that'll punch you in the face, weren't gonna fall for all that crap. They were like, nope, I'm leading my family. Nope, you can't tell me shit. I done came through the struggle, built all this. Nope. But when you've got a society of people that are led by women and men that are highly emotional, anything the TV says, anything the news, the radio says, it's got to be true.
But check out the other head game they put on us, and you guys are old enough. New Jack City, Wesley Snipes versus Christopher Williams.
Oh, I'm in agree with that though. That's when
What
dark
what?
skinned niggas came into play.
Right, that was the whole thing. Is like when you were dark, not only you were you were bad or whatever, but you were villainous. Where the
Get
light
your
dude can do no
$5 ass
wrong.
down before I make change.
Right. So and no matter what he did, he was forgiven. So therefore, he was considered harmless, i.e., Barack Obama. Right. So when you have those dynamics facing you, you still have it in your own community to where somebody's going to be deemed the bad guy and deemed the good guy. And so when it's time for you to get some kind of justice, it's kind of hard because the fix is in. It's hard for people, even though they're putting this whole thing about us being victims. You're getting a lot of people that just don't give a fuck.
Well,
They're
look,
like, okay.
my
But go
problem
ahead.
is we're seeking justice for these random ass events that happen once in a blue moon, when, like I've said, the most dangerous place for any black male or female is in the womb of an unwed black mother. You have a 50% chance of death in the womb of an unwed black mother. And none of these people on the left want to talk about this. But how are black
Give them the
women the
number,
least
Big
protected?
Nate. Give them the number. Give them the number because somebody, I know you had the number, right? As far as
Yeah,
the
23
portion,
million dead black
23
children,
million.
half of which are female. That's 11,500,000 dead girls. And you're going to tell me that black women are the least protected? Yeah, they're the least protected from other black women. And nobody wants to talk about this shit. That's why I have to come here and push it and push it and push it, because these are the real problems. These are the problems that are literally destroying us in this country, and they're helping to destroy the country.
Okay, so just a question, because I'm just shooting back at the title of the show. No matter what, we still an end. All right, I'm just throwing something out there. I'm just using Eugene Robinson's model of the disintegrated Black America. Is it the elite Black people that are saying this?
Saying
No,
what exactly?
no,
You're still a ninja.
no,
Oh,
Okay,
no. It's not.
is it the immigrants that are saying this?
No, it's not.
The
To a
Black
degree.
immigrants?
but that's another story. Go ahead.
Roland Martin is still saying it. He a couple of years ago he was all for the anti-lynching legislation. Fucking nonsense.
is it the solid middle class that's saying this?
Some of them, yes.
Okay, and what about the abandoned class?
All of them.
Yeah, all of
He
them.
said all of them.
You mean all the people down there, and when you talk to them, you hear. You mean those people? They
Yeah,
probably
because I'm
talk
just
about it the
using
most.
Eugene Robinson's model of the four breakups of Black America: the elites, the um, immigrants, the middle class, and then the abandoned class. But I mean, from what you all are saying, you're saying that the abandoned class and also the middle class say they're the predominant ones that push that message.
Yes, because isn't this true? Right. The higher you go on the socioeconomic ladder or scale or pole or whatever you want to call it, the less racism you're probably going to encounter. And even if you do encounter, you're still a nigger. If you encounter that, you probably encounter that in a different sense. Like for instance, let's take let's take somebody like a professional athlete, right? Makes millions of dollars every year, lives in a mansion, has all this stuff going on in his life. If he doesn't counter the whole, you're still just a nigger thing, I think it's going to be in a different context than someone who lives down in grandma's cellar.
Well,
I,
Xavier.
I think it's going to be different.
So who are those people down there, in the bottom experiencing racism from? Because we know that they all live around each other.
That's what I was about to say. I mean,
So
the lower you
so
are on the socioeconomic scale, the less people of other races you probably deal with anyway. People who are
okay,
up on the higher economic scale are probably dealing with more white, dealing with
okay.
more Asians,
So
dealing with
where
more Latinos.
so then where are they getting that message from?
Uh, they getting it from probably the old mammy, from
Definitely.
definitely from the old mammy, getting it from hoteps and whatever who they listen to,
Joy
on the
Reid,
internet.
Rachel Maddow,
Yeah,
Don Lemon.
Okay,
yeah.
so you see what you just stated there, little big Nate. See, that's something that I've been working on. I actually believe that you have the elite that are pushing that message down to the abandoned class because they need the abandoned class where they're at.
Mm.
That's
Now,
where
But
you,
how does that work though? SKC,
You
how does
mean,
that work?
well,
and do
I
you
would
mean
say,
the elite
I would say,
blacks? You mean
yes,
the
I would
elite
say,
black people?
The
yes.
bourgeoisie. Yes.
And I would say
Okay.
some of that comes through via politics.
A
Mm-hmm.
lot of it does. dog.
and here's you got to look at it like this, y'all.
because
Cause like,
because instead of I think what the abandoned class are confusing racism with is inability to deal with society on society's rules,
Mm.
and the elite are telling them no, it's not that you're not you that's racism that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Mm.
But you know what? To add on to that,
What
oh, go
real
ahead.
motivation? Well, hold on, really quick. What real motivation do elite black people have to push that down on the abandoned class, unless they really honestly feel that way? I don't understand why they would.
I can answer that. I
Yeah.
can
Because you can always have something to push as a see, this is what we, some type of agenda to push to stay where you're at.
and also it's their form of employment. Michael Eric Dyson
Correct.
makes a living doing this shit.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
they're on the payroll. They're completely on the payroll.
Absolutely.
Now,
Fucking Cornell West makes a living doing this shit.
Plus,
now
doesn't
here's the
that
difference.
give you a loyal following? Now, you think about the Joy Reids and the Don Lemons and all these kind of guys. I mean, they make millions of freaking dollars.
Yes.
They make millions of
But
dollars, but they want
do
these
y'all think?
poorer people to be loyal to them. Go ahead, Bernard. You
But
got it.
do y'all think that any of them are true believers?
No,
No, I
No,
don't.
it's a
Not
grift.
at
no,
It's a
all.
because
complete grift.
here's an answer to that, Bernard. Um, Take for instance, you have someone like a Don Lemon. He
Okay.
talks about racism all the time. He's
Hmm.
married to a white man.
He talked about gaysism, but go ahead.
Ah,
Well,
Sweet lemon.
Take the same thing with what's her name with the mayor of Chicago,
oh
Oh
Lori.
Lord,
Lord.
She literally stated she did not want to have white reporters or journalists to ask her any questions. She's married to a white woman.
It's
And she got a
You
insane.
white lover.
can't believe in racism.
yeah.
Don Lemon
But
said that white men are like I forgot the exact quote. He said white men are the biggest problem in America, or the biggest impediment
Threat
to
to America,
American.
something.
Yeah, some
Okay.
crazy shit about white men. And this man's
Look at
mouth and asshole routinely has white men
Oh God.
semen in it.
Ah,
look at
well,
all of, look at all
I'm
of
sorry.
uh,
I'm
well,
sorry.
look at all of the
yeah. I think
places
I'm
well,
gonna
that the
I'm gonna
people
trim
who
this
are
part out. I'm gonna
claiming
trim that part out.
look at all of the places that the elite individuals who are claiming racism. Look at where they live.
I don't want to.
I'm
I
with.
don't want to.
I hear
Go
you.
ahead.
I hear you on that, SKC, but I think there's a percentage of true believers, and the reason I say that is because there's people, and we see them. And somebody washing dishes in the background. I
Not
think that's
me.
our.
Man, you
I
got a
was
good
eating
But
earlier, but I'm
headset.
sorry.
but there's a percentage of people, and we see them pop up in chat rooms. You may even see them on my panel from time to time. They're not making money off of this stuff, but they
Correct.
will push the same exact narrative. So there
Yes.
are true believers out there, or I mean, I probably can ask my own question. Those people are the people that have essentially been inceptioned by the upper
Correct.
elite
Elite.
that are pushing it down.
Correct.
Okay, there it
Now,
is. There it is.
here's the thing. There's a fifth class of Black Americans, and those are the cats like me that, guess what? Regardless of what class you fall into, of those other four, you don't subscribe to the racism narrative, and our lives freaking reflect that. Now I can say straight up, I've experienced overt motherfucking racism from white liberals, overt,
Mm.
but I don't acknowledge it. The same type of shit that Larry Elder had a white woman in a gorilla mask attack him, and a Maggle simp jumped up to defend her, all on TV. I have not seen one Black Manosphere panel, minus I think Fantastic did it, about that. That was this overt racism. All these things these guys scream, whine, and cry about, and none of them got up here to defend it because Larry Elder doesn't subscribe to the narrative.
Did he, Trey? Did he lose? Really?
Well, come on now.
Well, he didn't get a chance
I
because
don't
they didn't
believe.
recall the governor. That's why. But he
No,
had a lot of votes. But
yeah, California. I think they.
But
Yeah, I
what
don't.
about all those elderly folks that went to the polls, went to vote, and they said that, ma'am, you've already voted? I mean,
Hey,
like dozens of them.
California. All I can say.
but
That
I wanted to. I
was.
didn't want to. I
Oh,
was
go
trying to
ahead,
get
Art.
in because I don't want to go too far. I mean, too far along. But I think one of the problems too that kind of speaks to SKC's point is we got too many of us that uh, constantly advise each other what we don't have to do versus what's necessary to do. And I think that does help people. Like for example, I'm cool with Boyce or whatever, but one thing I disagree with him on is the education piece. He pushes his PhD and all that kind of stuff, but he keeps telling people you don't need education. And I'm like, dude, you know, you got to be able to find a way to at least balance your message because, especially when young people hear stuff what you don't have to do, most of the time they take the latter. And then later on, they get mad and wind up at a Thanksgiving or a Christmas dinner, mad at someone that did what they're supposed to do and say, what? You think you better than me? I mean, it always winds up that way just because somebody's always trying to take the easy way out.
Yeah,
The
but
path of least resistance.
don't you believe that going back to the these journalists, who talk this racism and this white supremacy and all this kind of stuff, a lot of them who talk about this stuff on their programs and their platforms, they don't experience none of this stuff. A lot of them haven't been pulled over by the police and beat up or shot.
No,
They're not getting
no.
followed
They're,
around in stores. They're not, that shit's
they're,
not happening to these people that,
It
that
doesn't.
they're
yeah,
It
talking
doesn't.
about
they're
it.
just shills. They're just shills. They're just following the paycheck to muckrake. Because
It,
you take for instance like Joy Reid. Journalism, that's my field. If she really wanted to cover things that had to do with black women that were kidnapped or missing, she has a platform to do it.
Yes.
She's a reporter, so her entire everything that she was stating was absolutely insane.
But the racism that we keep hearing for the most part in mainstream is intersectionality. And when you start pushing that out there, I
And
mean,
why
who's that
is that?
helping? Who is that helping? Because basically that intersectionality is designed to
Uh-huh.
keep break away black families. It's,
Mm.
it's
Correct.
designed it's designed to keep us from coming together. or I would say it's designed to keep us from coming together naturally. So when they keep pushing, they'll throw the racism in there, then they put a little rainbow flag on top of it.
Because you can't get masculine
And I'm like,
men.
damn.
You're not going to get masculine men who are leaders of their family to acknowledge and play that game. You have to
Yeah.
put the boogeyman in front of single moms and effeminate men that were raised by those same moms. That only works on them.
Yeah, so that's the part where I have to really just be very critical on, like, look, somebody got to speak up on this because, okay, we you already know about the whole that artist that's his last name his last name ends with an X. Now, I think he might be harmless right now, but something going to follow him down the pike because mainly he's always going after the children,
Yeah.
and the fact that people are looking the other way.
Well, who again?
Yeah.
Uh, Nas X, dude. I'm
I'm
trying
going
not
to
to say
say
his
his
Oh,
name,
okay,
name.
but
got you.
but um, but the thing is that all these agendas that are happening, I don't know why. When people are in position to speak up, they look the other way and say, "Oh, that's harm. That's nothing or whatever." I'm like, look, if you put the flashlight on things, what happens? They hide. They can't do nothing because you can see what's going on. But the thing is, like me as a teacher, just think about it. Most of us teachers fall from K to 12. We have extensive hours with your children, more than you per week.
Mhm.
Think on that. So, when you have your kids coming back, like X talk about the Madden Kings and all that kind of stuff, 9 times out of 10, he didn't learn that from his parents. They got that from school, and that wasn't even taught in the class. So until we start addressing these things, and I'm not talking about picket signs and rah rah this, but you got to start, putting things in place, whether it's policy, legislation, or whatever it is, along with your administrators. When they see your face while they're making these decisions, like the Adam and Steve type shit that be in these kindergarten schools,
Yeah. Hmm.
we weren't there. We weren't there to vote on it. Y'all know that? We
No.
didn't
We
even
only
know.
vote every 4 years, sir. That's it.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about in the community. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. So we don't get involved until we just start crying after the damage is done.
Mm.
You know what
Well,
I'm saying? I don't know.
let me get to these super chats. Shout out to Lady Snuggles again. She says, "I hope y'all all know Bernard is on the panel sleeping. Given we might take see how long it takes for him to answer. I appreciate that, Lady Snuggles. You get this. I appreciate you dropping your hard-earned coins on this platform. And
Them coins are kind of pale, man. No, I'm joking. I'm just
ah,
messing.
uh, well, this is the thing. Oh, damn, another one. My bad. Another shout out to Lady Snuggles for another $5 super chat. She says, "What are your thoughts on what is going on with the Haitians? Is someone going to find the Statue of Liberty in protest like they did for the others?" Appreciate that, Lady Snuggles. That $5 super chat. You get this again. I appreciate you dropping your hard-earned coins on this platform.
I don't care what color these people. If you could put 50,000 big-breasted Eastern European blondes at the goddamn border, don't let them in.
I
Don't let
mean,
them in.
I have a different opinion on that, Nate.
Sure, what you got?
I think they should.
Just the big-breasted blondes, or who?
No. No, I
The
think
big
they
booty.
should allow the Haitians in. I think it would be great to um, have them come in and do like an exchange program in the Mississippi Delta. I bet they'll farm the area.
Oh.
I have a differing opinion. Being in Haiti after the earthquake, seeing how they were living, looks exactly like what's going on in Del Rio. I'm like, oh my God, I'm having PTSD flashbacks of Haiti, seeing what's going on there. Unfortunately, the bottom class of black people that we were talking about, that is like 99% of Haitians. Through everything that's, Haiti's gone through in all these years, to the failed leaders, the Haitian mindset by and large is the biggest victimhood thing you can ever imagine. And
Haiti, really?
the people up on the hill in Pessionville, Kinskoff, they sit and have these discussions like we're having right now every day about rebuilding their country. But the biggest problem is that they don't want to get the outside help that they'll need. That outside help is going to be a whole lot of countries with a whole lot of white folks coming in there, not the Clintons, coming in there and making wholesale changes like there was done in the Dominican Republic. What's going on in all these other countries across, the Caribbean. But the Haitian folks, for it, their mindset is blown. They know there's too many people. The Hondurans, Guatemalans, El Salvadorans, Venezuelans, they all need to go somewhere else other than the U.S. There's enough already.
I think
Well,
you
let
got
me.
another super
Nobody.
chat from Snuggles.
Yeah, I want to ask Brother Bernard this, because I know Brother Bernard has a business as well, and I also know that Brother Bernard used to be a blue collar guy. Did you see a different, or should I say, do you see a level of different types of racism now that you're more on the entrepreneurial side of things, as opposed to being like, more on the, worker side of things? Do you see more racism or a different type of racism?
I would say, if any, I saw more racism. Oh, by the way, everybody can hear me, right?
Yep, you good.
Okay, everything looked weird on my end, but no, I would say I definitely saw more. And keep in mind, I say, if any, I see more. I saw more when I was working and doing blue collar work. But we already alluded to this, that too many times with black people, if you meet a white person, you meet a white guy, or he could just be just a jackass. My experience, anybody that I thought that I wanted to say was racist, when I really stepped back and looked at it, that same guy that I wanted to call racist, other white men, white guys at the job didn't like him either. They just called him an asshole, but the black people called him racist, so. But if I saw any racism on either end of it, yeah, it would have been then. Right now, what I'm doing, I really don't deal with white people. I have no interaction with them. I mean, so I see no racism in what I'm doing right now. So no, I mean, I gotta say no. I mean, put it like this: I don't see a lot of it either way. I just don't. Either way, no matter what, I don't see it. I'll just say that.
And a part of the problem is, instead of looking for money and opportunities and ways to get a step up on our competition, we're looking for racism.
Yeah, we're looking.
Right.
We're looking.
Looking
We're
for it.
We're looking for somebody to call us a nigger.
Yeah, that too.
Hey, I'll tell you this, X. All my drivers are white. And it wasn't by plan. I just can't get brothers to do what I do. I had one, and he almost got one of my vans impounded at the border for he had a damn George Floyd charge in Minneapolis. Oh man, I forgot about that. I thought that just went away. I'm like, come on, bro. So yeah, the Canadians almost snagged his butt up and one of my vans. So, it just every Friday, they mighty happy. It's like, damn, I feel like a slave owner. I mean, these white people are so happy. And just to get to work for Massa, Massa Trey. I'm like, okay, shit. I feel like Anthony Johnson.
We do such a disservice to ourselves, dog. We can't even hire us a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And then we'll get mad when they don't.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that say about us?
Exactly. Like I said, man, I think that, we cover it as, oh, everybody thinks we're a nigger. Everybody thinks we're a nigger. What I think what happens more often than not is it's more about us. We always see ourselves as a nigga, because we go looking for this racism, we go looking for this bigotry, we go looking for this discrimination. Now, I'm not saying that United States isn't full of this stuff. We know that it is, but I think we are so focused on it that we are the real ones who think we're a nigga no matter what we do. I think we put that label on ourselves. I think we wear it. We put on the I'm a nigga a rain jacket, and walk out, and walk out with it on. And we just looking for somebody to freaking confirm it for us. And when it's not confirmed for us or confirmed for other black folks, we go ahead and confirm it for ourselves, or we go ahead and confirm it for other black folks. But shout out to Lady Snuggles again with
Damn.
a super
Man, she
chat,
only give me one. But it's
with
all
another
good.
super chat. And she says, does anybody understand the U.S. foreign policy when it comes to destabilizing other countries? Do you understand the reason
Is that
why
Mella?
people come here? And
Bro,
being that you've dropped so many coins tonight, Lady Snuggles, you will get this. Uh-oh. A big coin drop on the platform. Appreciate that, Lady Snuggles. Go
Don't
ahead,
tell me I
brother.
need to make something for Snuggles, Bernard. But I don't know. It's an interesting question. I know that there's a lot of working parts that go into that question. But the only thing that I want to add to this is I find it odd that when that discussion comes up, the U.S. being a racist country goes out of the window. Because whatever it is that's going on in whatever countries, particularly when it's dealing with black people, those people all of a sudden they don't care about racism.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this from my time, wearing the green, the people, the highly melanated folks coming here, the three-letter agency that does what she described around the world had nothing to do with those people's, black people's countries being destabilized. The destabilized countries were all, European or South American or Central American countries where the destabilization took place. So these highly melanated black folks are all coming here of their free will. To this,
You don't think the CIA wasn't throughout Africa?
No.
Really? Interesting.
Nope.
Well,
No, they had their foreign
George H.W.
counterparts.
Bush.
Me and Brother Supreme talked about this the other day, and we said that I said the old U.S. of racism, but we said the other day that whatever's going on, okay, that brought them here, I believe they believe that racism is better than whatever they were going through, on the way here, or the countries they went through, to get here. They must believe that racism is better than all of that because they still ended up here. So
It doesn't exist to them. I'll tell you that, Xavier, it does not exist to them. Like all the foreign countries I've been in, just take Afghanistan for instance. Afghanistan, when there was one of the special forces guys tried to tell one of the Afghani dudes about, the U.S. landed on the moon. Real as, I don't believe that was true. But when the Afghani dude, his response was this: how can you land something on the moon? It's the size of a thumb. That's their thinking. And you go around, and that's the poorest country I was in. You go all around other these countries in the world, they don't have any concept of racism whatsoever. It makes zero sense to them. They see you as, okay, American, highly melanated American who is super Michael Jordan rich, basically.
I mean, I just think to be honest, all right, to be honest, I believe that we are more concerned about us being a nigga than anybody else. Okay. Of course, you have these extreme racists out there and all that kind of stuff. I'm not talking about these people because these people are a minority, man. Let people tell it, though. Let people tell it that if you listen to some people on the internet, they will have you believing that 90% of white people are in the Ku Klux Klan.
There's
All
just
right.
tens of millions of white people waking up every day. Their sole purpose is to keep their foot on our necks.
Oh,
Tens of
absolutely.
millions of them.
Yeah, they wake up and say, "Let me go find some black people to be supreme over."
Absolutely.
You know,
The other
I
part,
was listening to a conversation, a journalist, someone who was asking the writer Ibram X. Kendi. You know, he writes a lot of stuff about institutional racism and white supremacy, and but they asked him, "Hey, the things that's going on with the jab right now, and black people not having a very high rate of taking um, the jab. Isn't that a form of institutional racism?" And he didn't answer at all. And I thought that was very telling because it, it shows me that, okay, you're in on the whole narrative of wanting to keep people under some sort of control, because that would have been easy to just follow the pattern of, oh yeah, see, the you know these a lot of black people are not getting the vaccine. That shows you that white America is racist. But in order for them to do that, then that means that he would have to go against Team Blue, and then he would be yeah.
Can't have that now, can we?
No.
let me, back to what X was talking about with the whole fixated on, making sure someone hold that title, the N word.
Mm-hmm.
I have to give uh, Black Hoover Strikes discredit. The problem is that as miserably as that is to some people, we made it sexy.
Mm.
We gave it swag. So on one end, you still a nigga, but you turn around the other way and say, "That's my nigga."
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else want to be part of that shit too. Hey, I'm your nigga, right? All
Mm.
this kind of stuff. So it's almost, I always say this, you know, people may like it, it tastes good, but I look at it like fast food. It ain't good for you,
Mm.
but yet we hold on to stuff that we don't need. And I got to roll, man, because I got to finish cooking.
All right.
So,
All
Appreciate
right,
you, brother Art.
always a pleasure having you.
Good to meet
yes,
you,
Absolutely.
man.
sir. So, yeah, you guys are my brothers, man. That's why I can tell them SKC. I don't care what you guys think or whatever. I got to put my people first. Even if y'all don't, I do. So it don't matter. I'm on cold. So X knows too.
Yeah, I
All right,
know.
y'all.
I know.
So I got to roll out, y'all. Y'all
Have a
be
good
good.
Peace.
Y'all
evening.
be safe.
Peace, brother
Peace.
Art.
Peace.
Yeah, but see the thing with the whole, that's my nigga and all that kind of stuff. Fine. I mean, I use the word a lot too. But I think we've convinced ourselves that we've taken ownership of the word. And we prove it every day because if we can say, "Oh, that's my nigga," he's my nigga, oh, us niggas, how can we say we've taken ownership of that word because if someone else of a different nationality or race or skin color says it, we don't take it the same way unless that person is cool with us. Because I've seen here in North Carolina, I've seen white boys uh, calling each other nigga. Um, when I was in Brooklyn a couple weeks ago, I heard white boys calling each other, "Oh man, that's my nigga. Oh, shut up, nigga." You know, I
Yeah,
heard
especially the
white,
young ones. Young ones
yes,
really do.
white boys were doing it. So I don't believe we've taken ownership of the word. I don't believe we've defanged it, as you've heard people say. I don't believe that either. What I think we've done is we've taken the word and made it a little, I would say, a little less painful when we use it, because I believe it used to hurt us when we said it to each other too. So I think the only part of it we've defanged is the part where we use it with each other. I don't think we've taken ownership of it from any other stance. I don't think we've defanged it from other people, because if we have, when somebody white called us nigga, we wouldn't get mad. So it's still fanged when it's coming out of a white person's lips. Um, but
Well, I think it would have been I think that would have been an argument if what back in 2008 or whatever,
mhm.
he had Obama on stage and he was like, "Now you look here, you niggers. We have to see." Then I would have said, "Yeah, it's defanged." But
look,
but but
look here,
until
you niggas.
yeah, but until something like that occurs, no. When I start seeing that on gravestones, here lies this nigga. Okay, yes, I will accept it. But I think when things like you find out a lot about people when it comes to death,
Mhm.
and I learned this a few weeks ago. There was that model whatever lady, the prostitute lady that died here in Houston. I forget who her name is.
More,
Yeah.
more, yeah.
And
Mercedes Moore.
and so there's a panel going on, and these people are coming up and they talking. Oh man, she was a good one and this that. And I'm like, okay, this is a prostitute. What are you talking about? She's a whore. Why are you saying that, man? Whoa. So you can have people parading through the streets doing slut walks, saying this is what they are, but then if they die and you say that that's what they are, then that's disrespectful. I, all of a sudden we want to play, respectability politics here. And I think it's the same thing with the N word too. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, you can call this to everybody else, or you can say it on all sorts of music and all this other stuff, but have someone say it to you, then it's, oh, no, that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so stupid. And the simps, these simp
So,
enforcers come out, they're bleeding hearts for her and her, cosmetically enhanced breasts and ass. I'm not saying the girl deserved to die, but this is what you get when you use your vagina as a medium of exchange. This is what you
you,
get. Sorry. I don't
you
feel bad. And the terrible way the father and everybody's trying to cover up what this girl was. This is a gated community. No evidence of a break-in. She let that man in and shit went sideways. You can only manipulate and use and play with men for so long. And that guy doesn't look like a threat to anybody, but you push any man enough, especially when his heart's involved, this is what can be the result. I would appreciate it if the father had the courage to come out and say that, because we need to keep young girls from thinking prostitution is a viable way to live your life. And a
Mhm.
lot of them are actually prostitutes. They don't call it that, but they are. They're
Yeah.
exchanging themselves for all sorts of fucking trinkets.
Yeah.
Now, here's one thing with that, the whole whatever her name is, Mercedes Moore, and this is how I was telling y'all at the beginning. How I just there's no association with me. When I saw with her, it was like Instagram thought. That's all it was. I didn't see anything else to it. Okay, Instagram thought gets taken out by freaking, simp. That's it. I don't see. There's no association between me and her. They're not my peoples whatsoever. It just can't, like, my brain, there's no possible way to register or find any similarities between me and her. And her situation, you know of course I dealt with stuff with my oldest daughter, similar stuff, I had to get her out of. But I never associated it with her being a, oh man, black this, black. No, it was just a lifestyle that women, all young women need to stay away from. Good conservative traditional families need to keep their kids away from. I don't look at a Mercedes Moore as, oh my God, look how this poor black girl lost her life. Man, it's just no.
No.
Yeah.
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 And that's a weird thing. I just that's what I'm saying. Okay, this is my last thing, and I have to head out. Maybe you can get a Trailer Hood or Nick Taylor to tag in for me. Either one or both would do an excellent job of this conversation. But Nate,
Yes,
if
sir.
I could ask you,
Go right ahead.
Miss Moore, right? Um, we know what she was into. We know her lifestyle, and we also know that others that live that type of lifestyle get celebrated, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Was
She
there any?
can live that lifestyle right now in 2021, but Clarence Thomas can live like Thurgood Marshall or Frederick Douglass. And how does the community think about him?
Oh, Clarence Thomas. He's a sellout. He's a coon. He's the white
But
man's lapdog.
but here's the guarantee though. Say if everything was to continue like it is, 50 years from now, Clarence Thomas is dead. He's gonna be on somebody's wall talking about, yeah, all of Clarence Thomas' accomplishments that goes to the black race.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm
Interesting.
saying. That's the enigma that I'm dealing with. Like, really,
But
really?
my only thing, SKC, is not every black person is like that. I would
No,
look at that.
just the
Go ahead.
majority.
A bit
Yeah, I think it's
large
more than
majority.
50%. Yeah, I do think it's more than
Just the
50.
majority.
Yeah,
So
I
that
can agree with you.
majority gets to later on tag on to when people bring up stuff about such and such. Oh yeah, Clarence Thomas, he was one of us. Okay, but you didn't accept him. None of y'all accepted him.
Because here's the deal, SKC, that mural that was up there on the wall, no black folks up there compete against the narrative. You get what I'm saying? Like up the top, those are Republican congressmen. You don't know none of their names. Zero. Nobody can name any of those Republican congressmen at the top of that mural. And then nobody in their right mind will put Anthony Johnson, William Ellison, or Antoine Dubuclet on any mural. And that is, Anthony Johnson, the father of chattel slavery, brother, William Ellison, biggest slave owner ever in South Carolina, and Antoine Dubuclet, richest slave owner in Louisiana, who then went on to be a daggone freaking state representative
There's certain
in the
things
state
that
government.
there's
Those
certain
hold on real
things
quick.
that I think about Trey. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm as confused as my avatar when it's like, what? I mean, I'm looking like, say for instance, in America, at the very bottom right hand side of the screen, you have people like Garvey that's on the poster, right? Garvey's life was about, hey, let's get out of here. Now I can understand if somebody was like, I'm gonna open up this Marcus Garvey Academy over in Africa for black people to come and learn over in Africa. Why are you having a Marcus Garvey Academy in America? Would he
Well,
even
here's
want
another
that?
thing. Well, here's the thing that black people aren't taught. How come nobody didn't take Marcus Garvey up wholesale on his idea? Could it be that they were just living way too good over here?
I mean, that's what I don't understand. It's like, okay, why have an academy of his here under his name? Why not build it in Africa where he actually wanted people to go?
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
mean,
because
is that too much to
I can
ask? I
say
mean,
this. you wouldn't be able to help quote unquote black boys in Africa.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to help black American boys in Africa.
No. What you could do is you could set that up over in Africa, and then like Jay Speed was talking about last week, where he was saying there's a whole bunch. There's people that will help you to move over to Africa.
I'm not
Ghana
moving.
is giving away passports and stuff.
Man,
I'm
Okay,
good.
I want to
I'm
see
good,
the
bro.
wholesale
man,
movement. You know,
I'm
most
good, bro.
of these Negroes are not
Dr.
going
Umar
to
should be setting it
Africa.
up over there, right? With his own
They
people.
Most of these Negroes are not trying to go to fucking
Why isn't the
Africa
why
hold
isn't
up.
or
the Umar
anywhere
Frederick
else.
Douglass Academy, Marcus Garvey? Why isn't that set up over in Ghana or Nigeria?
So
I don't trip about the man wanting to do his school. I just don't trip about it. You know me. Do what you do. Different groups, different ethnicities, different religious orders. Do what works for you. As long as you respect and honor our Constitution, do you? It just doesn't bother. It doesn't bother me. You see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
a lot of these people are just full of crap, man. They get up on platforms and they talk and oh, we need to all go to Africa and also kind of nonsense. Notice they black asses ain't left yet.
Yeah, that whole marriage thing was insane. I don't even. I still don't know what the fuck happened. It was
what?
like a fashion show slash. Nigga, it's crazy.
so I'm
It's
I'm
crazy.
ahead on out though. Maybe I could get a KIT or
All right,
Trailer
brother
Hood
Supreme.
or Nick up. KIT, what's up, man? I want to see this battle between you and Theo Waff on CompTIA again.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
Man, I gotta catch that replay.
God, dude, that was insane.
I need
Nah,
that to be a
know,
debate. I need that to be a
Oh
debate.
yeah, for
But
real, man.
But I got to
Absolutely.
get somebody to keep time because goddamn KIT is the timekeeper of the T.P.O.T debate. So now I have to keep the time myself because my timekeeper be debating.
They just said all these tech pookies. We had a bunch of
These
tech
are
pookies.
just stirring up
Bernard.
stuff, man.
Hey, I gotta take off too, fellas. Brother AV, I appreciate it.
All right,
Little Big
man.
Nate, man. Fire show today.
Good
SKC,
shit.
good seeing you up here. I'll take it easy.
All right, salute.
One.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go for maybe another 20, 30 minutes, y'all. I see one or two people, they want the link. I'm going
Sure,
to
come
provide
through.
it. I'm going to provide it.
Man, what Xavier, man?
Yes, sir.
I swear to God, the men that were up here, we could literally solve Black America's problems if we were given the power, the executive power to do so.
Probably.
Nothing but intelligent, cogent arguments, no yelling, nobody insulting. I mean, TVA got a little heated under the collar, but that's TVA. But
Mhm.
bruh, what I've been telling you, bruh, when you get center and center right leaning Black men together, dog, all you have is magnificent discussions. No drama, no you motherfucking bitch, nigga. None of that shit.
Pull up, I'll kill you.
None of that shit.
Pull up
We
and I'll
don't
kill you.
do that. We don't do that.
Yeah, man.
I mean, dude,
Yeah.
what an incredible conversation.
Yeah.
What an
Yeah.
incredible fucking conversation, dog. Come
Yeah.
on, man.
That's how it goes, man. And those are the type of conversations that, because what do we do on YouTube? We exchange ideas, right?
Absolutely.
So it's nice to have brothers up here exchanging ideas and it stays, calm and measured and, all that kind of stuff, man, because it's good to hear everybody. And it's hard to hear everybody when everybody's yelling, everybody's screaming, and everybody's threatening to pull up to somebody else's house and beat them up. So, it's just better when you can hear everyone.
Oh, dude, the level of maturity and intelligence when you just get center and right leaning brothers together, man. I'm not saying it's not going to be completely free from nonsense, but dude, there's just such small amounts of it. Nobody's screaming at each other, nobody's hopping off and coming back on, and dude, such a relief, man.
Yeah, nobody's saying pull up, I'm gonna kill you.
Catch a flight, catch a
Yeah,
flight, nigga.
When
None of that, dog.
if you was in front of me right now, I'll slap you. You know.
Oh my God, dude.
You guys,
So ridiculous, man.
how's it going, Brother X?
Hey, what's going on, brother Trailer Hood? What you got for us, man?
You know, hey, dude, I wanted to let you know I listened to your thing you did the show you did last night, and that was really profound.
Who,
To be
Nate?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I didn't have a
no,
show
Brother X.
yesterday, bro.
Oh, you talking about the pre-record that I put up? The premiere.
Yeah, dude, that was profound as hell, man. I sat and listened to all of that, dude, and that was really profound. It really caused me to think about some things.
Oh well, you know, I stay talking about these old mamas. I got one more coming down the pipe tomorrow, so be on the lookout.
So no, I agree
One
with
more.
What's up, Brother Nate?
Hello, sir. Good to meet you.
Actually, you met me before. We've talked over on Trey's panel before.
Oh, okay. Cool deal. Cool deal.
You know, I actually agree with you, but I think that there's more of the brothers are actually starting to wake up right now.
I agree. I agree.
And it's really a good thing. You know, me personally, it makes me feel good to see people like yourself and Brother X and Trey and SKC, you know, and even BMT does his part on it too, of trying to be realistic with people about things and try and get away from this whole coddling people thing.
Hold on a second. I got to step away for about 5 minutes, y'all. I'll be right back.
You're good. You know what I mean? And I think that's really important. I've sat and I've had discussions with Trey and with SKC before on their panels, and it seems to be that there's this overwhelming issue with, and it ain't always, it ain't just the black men that it's happening to. It's happening over here with the white community too, but you see it more so in the black community with, you know, these black men that are really, really, really emotional about anything you want to discuss with.
Yeah. We see a lot of that in our space, unfortunately.
You know, and it makes it really hard to have a real discussion if the emotion never ends. You know, I'm okay if it takes, you know, 15, 20 minutes, you know, get the screaming out, get your feelings out. You know what I'm saying? Say what you got to say to where we can take a breath and now we can talk.
And we're men. Men are going to crack skulls at times. You know, There's nothing wrong with a little bit of passion and a little bit of emotion. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But, you know, I don't know if you're familiar, but when I came into the black manosphere about 2 years ago, started speaking on panels, I thought I was the only, black conservative in the space. I didn't know about conservative. I didn't know about Trey. I didn't know they existed. So here I am going on Bernard's and going on other platforms, telling people, look, I'm a conservative. I'm a conservative. I'm a black guy. You know, this is what I am. And most guys didn't really have a problem with it. There were a few that were sent into a complete tizzy, just apoplectic emotional breakdown. Dude hopped on panels, cursed me out. Dudes I had never spoken to in my life. I had never said one word to or about, cussing me out and calling me motherfucker up and down, and all because I'm a conservative. I swear to you. And that level of emotionalism, it just reflects on how they were raised. Emotionalism is a feminine trait. It just
Absolutely.
Is. Lack of logic, lack of reason, all feminine traits. And what you see are black men acting in a way by their primary caretaker, their mom.
Well, to me, it shows that there was never really a man there to show anybody how to handle control their emotions, and to really put them in check. I mean, don't get me wrong. Look, brother, I'm one of them guys that grew up without a dad too. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, my mom was different. My mom would have beat the shit out of me like she was my dad. You know what I'm saying? She didn't let shit fly. And she made sure that I wasn't feminine. You know what I'm saying? She didn't, because to her, it wasn't doing anybody any justice in the house, especially when I became a young man. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, not all single mothers are like that, even in the white community. A lot of them are like how you guys have spoke where, and how my ex is, all they do is want to trash talk dad to their kids. They want to make boys feel as though their dad's a piece of shit, not to grow up like him, and keep them away from him. And that's not doing anybody any justice.
Yeah, this is an American problem with women. It's not just black women, of course. This is an American Western culture issue that,
and fully in America that it's a problem like this.
Well, I'll be honest. I just focus here because this is where I live, and
well, the reason why I say that is because, just as well as I do, a lot of the argument tropes that are used is what's going on in other places, other countries, when you're touching on a topic that's a sensitive topic, people like to try and sway the goalpost and move it over here and over here to places that aren't relevant to here. So that's why I just throw that out there. This is an American problem, what we have with the mother-father dynamic.
Yeah, and what's the left's answer? More single mothers. What's the left's answer? Continue to diminish the value of proper men, fathers. I don't know if you're familiar with my channel, but I have been telling these women, my channel started back in March. I've been telling these women, your only hope for protection or provisions or whatever these women are complaining about is to qualify yourself, be able to recognize what a proper man is, and get up under his leadership. There is no other form of salvation for you. Nothing. You're not going to guilt us into saving you. You're not going to guilt us into doing anything for you. If you are not a proper woman who wants to play her role as a woman, as a helpmeet, as an assistant to me, as I try to accomplish goals for our family, fuck them.
Right.
That's
it. Look, dude, it's like this, a prime example of what you're saying, okay? And how a lot of women are doing this is like what's going on, that interview that Joy Reid had a couple days ago with that black lady from that organization that tracks missing black men and women, and then that other Indian lady from the organization that does the statistics for the Native American community.
What were they talking about? I didn't see that.
They were talking about that girl that came up missing.
Oh, the young, isn't she a YouTuber?
Yeah, her and her boyfriend were the van life type YouTubers. Okay. And see, what's interesting about that is Joy Reid wanted to say that it was a missing white person. She wanted to try and make it seem like it was a racist thing where all people worry about is missing white people.
Oh, so she
missing white women.
She brought up the people from those organizations to talk about how terrible it is. There's so many missing black people.
Now the thing is wow. now listen to this, okay? The thing is she brought up a missing. They had brought up that there's a missing black dude that they've been looking for, and I'm sitting here thinking the whole time, well, Joy Reid, how can you say that this is a white woman, whatever it is? I forget how she labeled it. You know what I'm saying? But basically, how can you say this is all they care about is missing white women or white girls? You have a platform. You're a successful black woman. Why haven't you already been speaking out and making people aware of the missing black men and women?
My point is, I would expect, and you may disagree with me on this, but I would expect white people's primary concern to be their children. And I would expect that our primary concern, just like you said about Miss Reid, that our children would be our primary concern. Look, black life is so completely devalued. And I don't say this, from a victim's perspective. It's largely devalued because of abortion. Black life means nothing. I swear, it seems like every week there's a story about some black woman killing her children. You heard about the story where the black woman murdered her son over an SD card? Did you hear about that?
No.
Brother Xavier, would you like to tell him about that?
Yeah, because I talked about it last week. This woman, she accused the young son of having the SD memory card. He said he didn't have it. She shot him. She went and took a phone call, came back, asked him again, shot him dead. The young man was shot 3 times in the head.
In the head.
In the head.
And I think he was like 12 years old, right?
Yes, 12.
And it was his own mother?
His mom. And check this out. Talk about cognitive dissonance. The father, the mom, she was married. They were going through a divorce. The father's on TV crying about his son and how much he misses him. And he's talking about how great of a mother she was.
Yeah.
This is how stupid, this is how weak and stupid American men have become, and especially black men. You can't even criticize the murderer of your fucking son.
Yeah, that blew my
mind. This is how fucking horrible this shit is.
That blew my freaking mind, man. Like,
up there crying about this bitch.
I mean, this kid is dead, man, shot 3 times in the freaking head. And somehow they always manage to try to make, these people the freaking victim. Like, she murdered this kid, man, in cold blood, man. And everybody's talking about how, she had problems, she had this, she had that. Get the hell out of here. She murdered that boy. She's a cold-blooded murderer, and that's what it is. She should be garnering no sympathy. And I think about all the kids that get killed, and in these drive-bys, and you got these fools out here shooting up playgrounds and parks and all this kind of nonsense.
Right.
And I talk about that shit too, but it's actually worse when it comes to these freaking mamas, because these chicks here, let me show y'all, because I do have it here. I refer to them as the Momnificent 7.
Oh,
Lord. Who the hell are they?
They are the Momnificent 7, as I like to call them.
Oh, these are all women who murdered their children?
Oh,
they look pretty fucking special.
Now look at the look in their eyes.
Yeah, it's blank.
Here.
It's blank, dude. There's nothing there.
Yeah, there's nothing behind those eyes, though.
Look at the look in their eyes. That
last one, that last girl lady right there on the very end. She looks like she's looking at the dude like, are you crazy?
That's
what you got me up in here.
That's the mom that shot the 12-year-old.
That's the one we're talking about.
Wow.
Yes.
That's the one we're talking about.
And remember, Xavier, black women are the least protected people in this country.
Oh, absolutely.
All these murderers of their children, and black women are the least protected. Not to mention, the 350 plus thousand abortions. You didn't bring that up.
Well, this stuff isn't new, or is it news? Because if you look here, this number 3 here, 1, 2, 3, that is the third one here is a lady. Her name is Frances Newton. She killed her children in 1987. Not only did she kill her children, she also killed her husband. She was on death row, and they were trying to get her free, right?
Seriously?
Because they were saying she was innocent and all that stuff, but she ultimately got executed in 2005. In fact, she was the first black woman killed on Texas death row in modern times. So, she is infamous.
They were really trying to get her freed?
Yes, because they were saying she was innocent. They were saying she was innocent.
They're all innocent, brother Xavier.
They're all innocent.
They're all innocent in some way.
This girl next to her here, let me blow her face up.
Man.
This is the one that I spoke about, because I talked about all of them last week. This girl here is the one who rode around with the 2 malnourished children in the trunk of her car.
What?
The 7-year-old weighed 20 pounds. The 5-year-old weighed 18 pounds. She literally starved them to death, put their bodies in a suitcase, and rode around with them in a car for months. The one next to her here, this lady here, she killed 2 of her children. She had 4. She killed 2 of them and put their bodies in the deep freezer, and their bodies were in the deep freezer for 2 years. Not only did she have her children living in the house with these children for those 2 years, she also sworn them to secrecy, because they never told anyone that that the bodies of their siblings was in the freezer.
And if I could chime in real quick,
Go ahead.
the dark skinned lady there who had the 2 children, those weren't her children.
No.
Trailer Voodoo, they were her niece and nephew. Now check this
niece and
out.
nephew.
They were dead, riding around in her trunk for a year. Now you might ask,
dead for a year?
dude, I'm not even finished. You might ask, well, why didn't the mom want to see her children over the course of a year? The mom never even bothered to come check on her children for a fucking year.
Absolutely not. Didn't care.
And they were dead.
This one here, Blondie here, she killed her children she had a 1-year-old and I believe 2-month-old. She stabbed both of them to death in the bathroom of a convenience store. This lady here, she killed both of her children. She actually had a boyfriend, and when the boyfriend came home, the children were dead. The authorities were called, and when the authorities came, she actually told the authorities that she didn't know who the kids were. She didn't have any kids, and she also claimed to not know her boyfriend as well.
Well, I'm going to show you something real quick from a YouTube channel I've really grown to like, Pink Book Lessons. Hold on one second. Where is that? Story about a woman who murdered. She had a child with her ex-husband. Then she had a child with her new husband. The new husband wanted to move from, I think it's DC to Arizona, 2,500 miles. The father fought and was able to get his daughter back to DC. The mother killed both daughters.
Wow.
Yes.
So rather than the dad have the kid, she would rather the kid just not be alive.
They're dead. Yes.
And she probably claimed that she was doing it for their safety, right?
Of course. Because the father was so abusive, I'm sure. Let me, as a matter of fact, I want to show you the story, Xavier. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Okay. You can throw it up there real quick. You don't have to worry about a strike.
I just want y'all to look one more gander at the Momnificent 7. One more gander.
Nice.
The Momnificent 7.
Whenever you're ready, bro.
I got you. Hold on, let me pull this.
You got it up?
There you go.
All right. Father wins custody battle and mom wasn't happy about it. You won't believe what she did.
This woman here in
There we go.
With another story today out of Phoenix, Arizona. Before we get started, check to see if you're subscribed to this channel. If not, go ahead and tap that subscribe button and the notification bell. If you're new to the channel, include new subscriber in your comments.
Fair use, Negroes. Fair
use.
To all of you.
She's
if
cool though.
She's
cool.
And you're from Arizona
check her out.
or New Jersey, let
Definitely
me know below
do.
in the comments. But here's the story. You have a man, his name is Michael. He met this woman here in New Jersey. When Michael met Retta, she already had a daughter. Her name was Aaliyah from a previous relationship. Aaliyah's father, Kevin, also lived in New Jersey, and she had a great relationship with her father. Michael decided to move forward with Retta, and he also accepted her young daughter, Aaliyah, recognizing her as his daughter too. Michael,
and keep in mind, there's no good black men out there.
Yeah.
Ended up getting Retta pregnant so that he could have his own biological child with her, solidifying them as a family of 4. Then Michael made the decision to move his family to Phoenix, Arizona. He wrote,
"Look at those 2 beautiful little girls, dog. Look at that."
Dude, knowing what I'm about to have to hear, it actually it brings tears to my eyes because that ain't right.
Dude, it's insane.
I moved here with my children and their mother from New Jersey for spiritual reasons. I wanted to make my daughters aware of the spiritual nature that I believe in. And Michael believed that Arizona was a very spiritual state. So when the family moved to Arizona, it caused a lot of friction between Kevin and Retta. Both parents wanting Aaliyah to stay with them. Kevin wanted her to stay in New Jersey, while Retta wanted her in Arizona so that Aaliyah could be with her, Michael, and her youngest daughter, Royal. That's when the custody battle fired up a few notches. Kevin gained primary custody at some point, but he allowed Retta to take Aaliyah for spring break in March 2020. And around that time, the U.S. was shut down due to C-19, and Retta refused to return her to Kevin.
Wouldn't give his daughter back to him after entrusting her with the girl for the summer. Yeah.
Retta was finally able to have her way by taking Aaliyah from Kevin and being able to have her full time in Arizona. Kevin told the court that Retta had no right to take Aaliyah, being that he was the custodial parent. So the fight in family court across 2 states, New Jersey and Arizona, it all continued when Kevin filed the appropriate paperwork. Meanwhile, Michael and Retta lived as a family of 4 in Phoenix, including both daughters, Aaliyah and her little sister, Royal. The couple got into a verbal fight in March 2021. Retta was so combative that Michael had to call the police on her.
That's right. The man had to call the police on her for her abuse, her physical abuse of
her.
Do you know how many, normal fallacies I'm hearing right now in what we're watching, dude?
Yeah, it completely flies in the face of all the victimhood all these women claim. Yeah, absolutely.
Down, but they didn't detain her or charge her with anything. This whole time, Kevin was back in New Jersey. He was worried about his daughter, Aaliyah. At that time, in March 2021, he hadn't seen her in over a year, which was not normal for him. You see, Kevin, he's been there with Aaliyah active her whole life, highly involved in her daily life before Retta took her from him. About 6 months later, in September 2021, Kevin finally got some good news. A judge ruled in his favor and ordered Retta to return Aaliyah back to him in New Jersey. He was excited to be reconnected with his daughter once again after not seeing her for a year and a half. Retta, on the other hand, she didn't like this news at all. She did not want Aaliyah to go back to New Jersey with her father. So after she received the news about the court order, she told Michael that the girls had C-19 and that she would keep them quarantined in the bedroom where she would watch over them. 2 days after Retta received the court order, Michael came home shortly before 6 p.m. This was the evening of September 8th, 2021, and he found 9-year-old Aaliyah and her 4-year-old sister, Royal, both of them lifeless in the bed. Retta had barricaded herself in a room by pushing the bed against the door. Michael called 911, and when officers arrived on site, they detained him. But after investigating the house, they let him go. Detectives say a prescription pill was found near one of the girls by her mouth. They also found a bottle of Oxy, Tylenol, and a liquid substance in the room. Investigators are saying that Retta used those pills to sedate and overdose her daughters. She was found in a room with no clothes on, and she had self-inflicted cuts and a handwritten note near her explaining the situation. Retta was taken to the hospital and she survived. At the hospital, she denied knowing about the confession letter, but opened up to the hospital staff about what she did to her daughters. Nearly a week later, Tuesday, September 14th, Retta was released from the hospital.
Look at these raggedy ass broads, boy.
Yeah, man.
Goddamn mug shots. Always look like hell.
Because this is what they really look like.
Yes, this is what they really fucking look like.
That's straight up ratchet right there, man. That's grimy.
Oh God,
dude, fucking insane.
She was officially charged with taking the lives of Aaliyah and Royal. The judge set her bond at $2 million. Both fathers, Michael and Kevin, they're left to plan funerals for their daughters. Kevin made this statement. He said, "I feel for Mike. His daughter's gone too, but he had a chance to say something too." Kevin believes that Michael was there with the girls and Retta. He was aware of her behavior during their court battle and also supported Retta in keeping Aaliyah in Arizona with them and away from Kevin in New Jersey.
Yeah, that punk ass bitch she was with, the new dad, didn't even demand, look, you need to give that girl back to her father. You ain't gonna tie me up in some.
Well, he wasn't going to, Nate. You want to know why? And I'll tell you why. Because these new dads are too busy trying to have that dick measuring contest with another dad about his kid. I know this because I'm dealing with it with myself with my ex's fucking new husband or whatever. You know it?
Wow.
Yeah, but see, that's some backwards ass bullshit because you as a man Why would you want to be around a woman who keeps her damn kids away from their father, and you
Right.
and you just gonna be there and watch her do the shit? Like, come on, man.
Well, and then be a man and help provoke this shit as well.
Yeah. Oh,
Egg it on.
don't let him see his kid. Like, what the fuck, man?
You know, and the thing is I see this. I see what you showed. I saw the video that he showed. I'm listening to because I listened to the stream you did after the one you premiered last night about the little girl that was in diapers that you had to get out of the middle of the damn busy road not once but twice.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
and look, the thing is you're seeing more and more of this out of these mothers, out of these single mothers, out of these quote unquote, I don't need no man. I am woman. Hear me roar. I can do it on my own types.
Mm-hmm. I just see me. I don't give a shit about these old mamas. Okay,
I don't either.
They're not important. All right, they're not important. The children are. The children are more important than these old mamas. And see, we have in Black society, we have been conditioned to believe that these women are more important than the children that they have. And see, that is the problem. I spoke about this today earlier on Brother Bernard's. I said, no matter what movement, what matters, no matter what situation, no matter what circumstance, whether it be community, whether it be a revolution, whether it be education, whether it be anything, we have been conditioned to believe that these women are more important than the children. We believe that these women are more important than the children that they murder. All right. They're more concerned with the women that murder these children than the murdered children. And that I will never understand. I think some of the worst things to ever happen to young Black children is having a Black ass mother. That is why I say the things I say. Okay, I don't make this stuff up. You saw me put the Momnificent 7 up there. That's only 7 stories. You know how many I found? About 50. All right. I picked those 7 out of the 50 that I found, and I didn't have to look hard.
Exactly.
At all. Brother X, I want you and Brother Nate to know that look, it isn't so there's a lot of that same shit going on over in the white communities as well, especially with moms and the kids and shit.
Susan Smith, you remember her?
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is it seems like we have this whole thing, these women that are they're being incentivized and almost led to do this shit, and look, they do this and they take the kids away from a Black man and say it's because a Black man can't be a dad and ain't doing nothing, yada yada yada. And over in the white communities, you got these fucking dumbass bitches like my ex that want to hold your fucking kids hostage and not let you see them, get restraining orders on you, and then basically try and force you out of their kids' lives just so they can go around and tell people that you're a worthless deadbeat.
Yeah, this is and one of the biggest differences between the way Black men deal with this and the way white men deal with it, there is an epidemic of suicide among white men related to their divorces, their custody battles. White guys are committing suicide over this shit. I don't hear that too often among Black men, but
an astronomical rate right now.
Wow. And we have to be honest, white guys usually routinely have a lot more to lose because only 30% of white children are born out of wedlock, whereas 80% of Black children. So we're talking about marriages that are dissolving, which means there's real estate tied up in shit, investments. And these guys,
I was going to say, let me ask you something, Nate, because I don't know how the actual family court system works when it comes to Black families and them going through the family court system. But I know that with the family court system with white families, you're already set up when you go in there as some kind of they vilify you. They turn you into some great big villain, and like you're somebody that is untrustworthy and violent and shit. All right, so you're already starting out on this uneven playing field. All right, and then after the fact, what they do is they do everything in their power to make sure that they financially ruin you, to where you can't even take care of your kids when they're at your house. You can't even take care of yourself. A lot of these white folks, the reason why they're committing suicide is because they went out, they built something, they had a life. Their wife leaves, takes the kids, and then ends up with everything, and including this guy's paycheck, and they end up in their fucking mom's basement, and they can't even afford to take their kids to McDonald's on the weekend when they get them.
Yeah, I've heard so many stories. White guy, in the Black community, because there's so few marriages, we're not really stuck paying alimony, whereas a lot of white guys are. I used to work for Geico Insurance back in 2000, from 2002 to 2011. And my instructor at the school where I learned how to do auto damage repair, he was a newly divorced guy. This guy was like in his 40s and lived with a roommate. A 40-something-year-old man having to live with a roommate because of his alimony and child support.
Yeah.
Do you know how much I pay in child support right now for 2 kids?
Shit.
For two?
How much? For 2 kids that I don't get to see. $1,100 a month.
Wow.
For 2 kids I don't get
crazy.
to see.
I was now you probably don't know this, sir, but I actually got custody of my children after my divorce.
Yeah, I heard you speak on that, man.
Okay, yeah, I actually got
congratulations.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it.
Because that isn't an easy battle. That's a seriously uphill battle, almost damn near vertically uphill.
Yes, it is.
Brothers.
Oh, hold up. Let me introduce your ass. Hold up. We have been joined by the Macisphere, the one
Is that brotherism?
and only Sir Ism. What's good with it, brother Ism? Been a while, brother. Been a while.
Hey, T.P.O.T, man, I rock with you, man. I fuck with you. Shout out to little Big Nate and the other player over there, man. But hey, man, y'all need to pick y'all some better women, because I keep hearing everything about the woman. The woman did this. The woman did that. The woman. Hey. Did you lie? Did you say you was going to be faithful? And then you stepped out on your marriage. You should have told her, I'm a player. You should have told her, I'm going to have some more bitches on the side. But y'all lied. Did that rhyme?
Actually, brother Ism.
These dudes be lying, T.P.O.T.
Hold on.
They be coming over here. Big
Ism.
Nate be lying. He be
I
women out. And this other brother,
Tell me what I lied about.
Hold on.
The sisterhood. These niggas be full of shit.
But actually,
I be full of shit.
We weren't really talking.
You're a superstarism. That's what you are.
We weren't really talking about.
You, I appreciate that.
We weren't really talking. We weren't really.
What'd you say? Idiot.
I called you a goddamn. You come up here insulting me.
So
I'm
what are
insult
you?
your back.
Are you like a professional nigga?
Hold on,
nigga. Show your face, then, nigga.
Nigga, shut up. I don't have to do anything you say. You clown.
What you trying to tell these women to do something?
Oh God!
You ain't showed your face.
And a clown like you ain't gonna make me.
There you go.
That's the plan. You can go see my son's face. He just won the championship. Don't look at my son's face. He just won the championship.
I'm talking about you,
clown. You're a clown.
What's his name?
You're a clown. That's what you are. You have nothing to show for your life.
I'm a clown, nigga.
You have nothing to show for your life, but a bunch of used up prostitutes. A bunch of used up prostitutes. That's all you got to show for your life. You come up here and insult me. I'ma smack your back, nigga.
That talk the most shit.
You come up here insulting me. I'ma smack your back. You effeminate loser.
Because they are
effeminate loser.
So they want to be mad.
You're an effeminate.
Democracy.
You're an effeminate.
But brother,
you're an effeminate.
You cannot knock a book off a bookshelf.
You can't even put a
You can't
sentence
send
together.
your woman to
You can't put a
go
sentence
get the
together.
motherfucking mail from the
You
mailbox.
can't put a sentence
So your
together.
bitch
Shut
left
up.
you. She left you with
Shut
the
up,
kids,
loser.
and now you crying about
Go lay up with your old used up prostitutes.
Black woman.
Go lay up with your used up prostitutes.
These women.
Go lay up with your used up prostitutes.
You can't knock a bitch, nigga. You look
Knock
like
a bitch. I don't talk like that. I don't
This
talk
how you
like that.
look.
I'm sorry.
This
I don't
your
need to
face.
knock a bitch.
You
I don't
see
know what
these
you're
women
talking
right
about.
here? This is you in reverse.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Sir loser. That's what I'm gonna call you from now on. You want to come up on a platform and insult me? I'm gonna get you right back, homie. I'm gonna get you right back. You're a loser-ism. You're a loser-ism.
That means he's little.
You were born a loser, homie. You're as tall as me. You're as tall as me.
Nigga, and you can't knock a bitch, nigga.
I know I
You
can't.
overweight
I can't.
mother. Show your face,
I know.
nigga.
I know.
I show my
I
face.
know. I know.
Please,
I don't care. Nobody wants to see your
what
face.
About your stomach?
Nobody wants to see your face.
Burpees.
Hey, come to Atlanta. Come to Atlanta.
That's why your woman left
oh my
you,
God!
Nigga,
you see,
you show dick in
emotionalism.
You got a 22
emotionalism. He's an effeminate, emotional, broken man. You come up here. You bring your loser pimp self. You bring your loser pimp self up here, and you insult me. You bring your loser pimp self up here, and you insult me. Go away. You're an effeminate. You're an effeminate. You're an effeminate. Listen to you screaming. Why are you screaming?
What do you mean? Wait, T.P.O.T.
You're an effeminate, dog.
Brother Ism.
You came up here hurling insults. I don't take insults kindly.
Little big name. That's a fucking lie.
I don't take insults kindly, sir. I show my work.
Your name is Big.
I show my work.
About your kids, nigga.
I show my work, sir.
I done showed my work too.
You ain't shown shit. What about your old pictures from the 90s? Game changer whooped on you for that.
You ain't show no work from the 90s, 2000s, 2010, 20. You ain't show shit. So women from
It's
the
on my channel. You can go see my son winning the championship.
My son, nigga, my son just graduated from
God, I don't even believe you. I don't believe you. You need more people.
I'm talking about
you need more people. I don't believe
you.
You are ugly, nigga.
Exactly. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
I don't want to hear about your kids.
You're right. You're right. Got a drop dead gorgeous daughter.
I don't want to hear about your gorgeous
got an incredibly handsome son, and I'm ugly. Listen to him. He's about to cry. Ism's about to cry.
That's how you sound on your channel.
Ism's about to cry. You know how much money I make on that platform, boy?
Be about screaming.
Boy, you know how much money I make on that platform?
Fucking women.
Do you know how much money I make on that platform?
Doing all that screaming, T.P.O.T.
Do you know how much money I make? Why are you listening to me?
These are ugly motherfuckers.
Effeminate.
That's why you don't get no bitches.
I know, you're right. You're right. I wouldn't touch a woman that you're with.
Say it again.
I would never touch a woman you're with. You're right.
I ain't worried about you.
I would never touch a woman, some slimy nigga like you's been with.
Nigga,
you're a failure, Ism. You come up here insulting me. I'm gonna smack your back. I'm gonna smack your back.
We already had
he's about to cry.
At T.P.O.T.
He's about to cry. T.P.O.T, do you see?
Who won the debate?
What did I tell you about leftist guys?
I did little big.
What did I tell you about leftist guys? They come up and all they do is start trouble. All these leftist niggas do is start trouble.
Every morning you on here, you talking about women.
Every morning? What are you talking about? You effeminate weirdo nigga. What are you talking about? I'm never on in the morning.
A bitch to knock a motherfucker. You be
knock a bitch. Knock a bitch.
Knock a bitch, nigga.
Knock a bitch.
Yeah, well, quit talking about black women.
Knock a bitch,
nigga.
You don't tell me what to talk about.
You're
a loser, Ism.
Knock a bitch then.
Knock a bitch.
I came up here and we were talking about all women.
You sound like a 60-year-old woman. You sound like a 60-year-old woman.
You niggas ain't met all
women.
You
sound like a 60-year-old woman. can't knock a good bitch.
You don't.
Nigga.
You come up here
Don't
disrespecting
you,
me. I'ma smack you in your face.
You ain't gonna
I'ma
sock
smack
shit,
you in your face,
don't hear
nigga.
all that tough shit. Nigga, shut your
Well,
ass
well,
up.
Shut up.
ism, brother,
Shut your
ism.
ass up, nigga. You
Brother,
ain't got enough
ism.
money to fuck with me.
You're a
nigga.
loser,
Nigga, show
ism.
me $1,000 right there.
Oh,
Nigga,
show me a.
Hey, T.P.O.T.
Go look at my house.
I want
Go
to
look at Brother
shit.
Xavier. You saw my house, right?
Hey, T.P.O.T.
Yes.
I
Brother
cash
Xavier,
you
does it look like I have
$1,000 right now.
$1,000?
If this nigga got
Hey,
$1,000,
stupid nigga, go look at my house. I
ass
put it on my
motherfucking
channel.
nigga. He can't knock
Go
a
look
book
at my
off a
big
bookshelf.
house.
He
Hold
mad
on,
because
hold
his
on,
woman,
hold on,
and
hold
he's
on,
a
hold on.
trick ass nigga.
You're a trick ass. Break a bitch.
Hold on.
That's what you need to do.
Hold
nigga.
on,
Break
brother
on a
ism.
bitch, nigga.
You're a clownism. You're a loser.
What are you? What are you?
I'm a
Special?
successful
You
father
clown.
and entrepreneur now.
You
That's what I am. And you're a loser.
When you came,
I didn't insult you. You came up here insulting me. I'ma smack you in your face.
Nigga. Show your face,
I'ma
nigga.
smack you. I
Hell,
don't do
you
what
ain't
I don't
gonna
do what
smack
losers tell me.
nothing, nigga.
I
You
don't do
can't
what
even
losers
smack a
tell me to
bitch,
do.
nigga. I put a whooping on a
Come
hoe,
to
nigga.
Atlanta,
My woman is my
December
slave, nigga.
4th.
You ain't never had a
Come
slave
to
for a bitch.
Atlanta,
Talking about you gonna
December
smack me,
4th.
nigga. Shut up.
Come
You ain't
to
gonna smack shit.
Atlanta. Come to the
You can't smack
Westin
me. I
on
done been
December
to Atlanta.
4th.
Nigga, I was on Camilton Road.
Come to the
nigga.
Westin on December 4th.
I got
I'll
family
be
in
there.
motherfucking Atlanta, nigga.
I'll be there.
And then you ain't gonna be shit.
We
can't
already
even
got
knock
the
a bitch.
Westin. We
That's why
got the
you crying
Westin,
about
buddy.
these black women.
Buddy, we got the Westin.
These black women. These black
We got the
women.
Westin.
Cynthia G.
We got the Westin. Why are you listening to my channel?
Nobody worry about Cynthia.
Why are you listening to my channel, effeminate?
Quit crying about the bitch.
Pimp. And pimps are the lowest
That's
form
right,
of life.
nigga. Pimp on
Pimps
the bitch,
are the
nigga.
lowest form of
Cash
life.
for your rash, nigga. Put
Pimps
the hoe
are the
in the
lowest form of life.
motherfucker.
And that's what
I'm
you
the
are.
lowest shit?
You're a
better-
coward that
better
made
not
his
hold
money off
somebody pimp on
destroying
one of
women.
your youngest
You're a
young
coward
nigga.
that made his money off destroying
You
women.
ain't made shit.
You're
Yeah,
a
that's right.
loser.
That's right, nigga. So what, you
That's
a winner?
right, nigga.
You a winner? You a winner? So
I
when
am
I
much
go
more of
buy
a
my
winner than
tires,
you.
when I go buy my
I
tires,
am much
they
more of
say,
a winner than
little
you.
Big Nate. Oh,
Go
your
look at
money
my
come
house.
from the
Go look,
legitimate
hey,
world.
effeminate.
Oh,
Go look
Uncle
at my
Wisdom,
house.
your money come from the street
Go
world.
look at
They
my
still
house.
sell me the tires. When
Go
it's time
look
to
at
buy
my
a
house.
house, they
How
say,
is this
oh,
relevant
you
to the
Big Nate,
conversation
your
that we're
money
being
come
had?
from the
Hey,
legitimate world. Oh, Uncle Wisdom, I can't pay your mortgage, and I
let me
pay
tell you what
mortgage just
happens with
like you. I
leftist
done
black
sent
men.
college kids to
Leftist
school
black
just like
men
you.
come on
Nigga,
panels to
show
start
your
fights.
face. Quit showing these black.
Leftist black men come on
Stop letting
panels
these
to
sucker
start
ass
fights.
niggas
That's all they
show
do.
women.
Come see my face in Atlanta.
This is how
Show
most
they face.
progressives are, to be
Yeah,
honest.
that's how most Democrats are, bro.
Motherfucking
They're
Show
emotional.
your face,
They can't
nigga.
make
Better talk.
arguments, and they have nothing to show for their life.
You niggas are
Trailer
ugly.
hood.
You
They have
niggas can't
nothing to
knock
show
a
for their
bitch. You
miserable
can't
lives.
dress.
Well,
You wear ugly ass
the thing
clothes.
is,
You shop in
the
Ross.
thing is, sir,
Nigga,
isn't that
you
what
screaming.
you're
can't
doing
get a
right now
bitch
really isn't
off the
accomplishing
bookshelf.
anything.
Square
It isn't
ass
doing
nigga.
anything.
He's
It's
used
not
to not
backing any
accomplishing
fruit.
anything.
It ain't doing anything
Hold
positive.
He's used to
It
not
ain't-
accomplishing
Shut your
anything.
punk ass up, nigga.
Hold
Quit talking about these
on.
black
Shut
women.
me up.
Shut
Come shut me
your
up.
face, nigga. My
Come
face
shut
right
me
here.
up.
Hold on. Hold on. God damn it. Hold
Get on my
on.
face, nigga. Show your face.
I don't have to, nigga. I'll never do anything you say.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
I'm gonna do a China white on you, nigga.
You pimped them and destroyed them. You pimped them and destroyed them.
Wait a minute.
That's what you did, Ism.
When you came up here,
show your face, nigga.
Brother Ism, when you came up here, we were actually talking about these women who I have coined as being the Momnificent Seven. And
but these niggas are crying about black women, T.P.O.T.
No, the reason why I talked about these women is because all of these women up here murdered their children.
But they're queens, according to this.
Hold on.
I'm not with that. You right.
Hold on.
I'm not with that bullshit.
We weren't talking about dating them or mating them or any
shit.
of that.
I don't support that.
Every single one of these women up here murdered their children.
Right.
And they are 7 out of the 50 that
the 50 million.
No, and I want to make something clear to you too, brother.
Because these dudes in the manosphere, they be tricking. They MGTOW Mandingo. They YouTube some characters.
Dude, I wasn't
they
talking about black women. I was bringing another dynamic to it.
but they need to get them a new bitch because they be at home, they jacking off to their hand,
I swear
have a
it's like
hand,
trying to
Linda
talk to my
Lotion, they
ex-wife,
jacking
man.
off, they
You never shut
Minto,
the fuck up. She always talks over
SYS
everybody.
BMW. I don't want to hear all that shit.
Then go away.
Outside and knock
Bro,
you
how
a
can you
bitch.
come up? Dude, how can you legitimately come up here throwing shade and accusing people of stuff and then never give them the opportunity to have to answer back?
7 women ain't the whole society.
See ya.
You're my daughter. My daughter.
I mean,
Nobody give a
Jesus
fuck
Christ,
about your
dude.
daughter.
You
You's
come
an
up
ugly
here and you
nigga. That's
started
why you don't want to show your
You're
face.
right. I am.
Baseless claims, and then you don't even give a person a chance to actually
am.
respond to what
Because
you
he's
say.
a loser. That's
I'm
why.
a loser. How I'm a loser, nigga?
Boy, you were born a loser.
This is
You
dude.
were
This is how
born
my
a
fucking
loser.
two daughters argue with each
So
other.
your daughters was losing because they was born.
I know. Yeah, my daughter's
Hey,
drop
little
dead
Big Nate,
gorgeous
what's
and
your
she's a
father's
loser.
phone number,
Gotcha.
nigga? What's your mother
Drop
phone? I
dead
want to
gorgeous
call her
and
and
she's
let
a
her know
loser.
what kind of stinking
And
motherfuckers
see, this is the kind of person he is. He insults people's children.
What's your daddy
He's an
phone number, boy?
effeminate and he's a loser. That's
What
all
you?
ism is.
You a winner.
He's a pimp.
You a winner.
The lowest
Hey,
form
show
of
your
human
face,
being
nigga.
in the world.
I'm not a pimp. I've never been a pimp, nigga.
You're a
I'm
liar.
man.
You're a liar.
Well, you a liar.
You're a liar.
You a lawyer, nigga. You a lawyer that lie. You worse than me.
I'm a lawyer that
We taught
lies.
you your communication skills.
We are going to wrap this up now.
Big Nate, get your ass little. Little. Ain't nothing little about you, nigga. You are over, out of shape,
we're
overweight
going to wrap
ass
this
nigga.
up.
I know.
Well, show
Bro.
your face, nigga.
Go look at my house. No, go
Well,
look
show
at my
your
house,
face.
dirty
Nigga, look at my
nigga.
house, nigga. I got
Dirty
a house
nigga,
too.
go look at my house.
I got a
That's
house
what you
too,
do.
nigga. Go look at my house.
No,
Nigga, I've been in the
provided to you
backyard.
by a bunch of used up
I've been in the
prostitutes.
backyard with the fire in the
Prostitutes.
backyard. I've been in the
Go lay up with
gazebo.
your
Nigga,
prostitutes.
what? You ain't
Go
no
lay
better
up with
than
your
me.
prostitutes.
These niggas be acting like they better than somebody.
Oh, see, I told you, Xavier.
That's what
He's
happens when you come into
I
That's
told
what
you.
happens when you come in at midway into a conversation, dude. You think you
He's
know what
a
you're
loser.
Motherfucker.
Xavier's no, I'm sorry. Ism's a loser. You're a loser, Ism.
You know, when you come in midway in a conversation and don't hear what the beginning topic was, that's why you think people are talking about something they're not
I'm a
talking
loser,
about.
but I win with the bitches and you lose with
You
the bitches.
win with strags and pigs.
Then
That's
show
what
your
you win
face.
with.
Your pigs.
You win
got
with
no
strags
pigs.
and pigs.
You got your hand,
filthy
nigga.
loser.
Your hand. Hannah
Whoa,
hand.
Well, this is what I got to say. You go ahead and win with multiple bitches. I'm married. I'm married to
Okay. I have had enough. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring everybody up here one at a time for their parting shots. We're going to bring Ism up first, then Trailer Hood, and we're going to end it with my man, Big Nate. That's what we're going to do because this is insane. All right.
I know it's
Ism.
insane. What's up, T.P.O.T?
Parting shots, man.
Hey, man,
and
I ain't
hold
gonna
on,
throw no shots. I'm gonna just tell the truth.
hold on. And before you came up, brother Ism, you came up on some sideways shit because we weren't talking about women in the sense that you said, brother. We were talking about these women who killed their children. That's who we were talking about.
You're right. But did the numbers go up? Did the numbers go up?
Did what numbers go up?
The numbers in the chat. Did they go up?
I don't know.
When I came up, did the numbers go up?
Parting shots, man, because I'm about to wrap this up. We already at the 3-hour mark. Parting shots,
hey,
man.
little Big Nate be crying about these women because he can't knock a book off a bookshelf. His woman divorced him. He can't send his woman to get his mail out his mailbox. He can't even send his woman to Amazon to get an Amazon package. You understand me? But all these dudes that cry about women, okay, they never, ever show their face. Okay, I'm a thirst trap you niggas like China White. See, I keep showing my face. See, this me, nigga. See, I'm thirst trapping you. You understand me? See, but you gynocracy, feminism, shut your punk ass up. I don't want to hear about your kids. Nigga, what you do in life? What you doing? All the black women, the weave. What about your stomach, nigga? Feminism. What about your stomach, nigga? The gynocracy. What about your bank account? A lot of niggas be lying. Men never tell what they did. They always say, the women did this, the women did that. But if you a player, you say, hey, look, woman, I'm a player. I got to have more than one woman.
and she can respect that. But you dudes say you're gonna be honest, you cheat on your woman, then when they leave, then you mad at all black women. How can one big head nigga on YouTube meet all the women? There's no way possible. I have empirical data. All you niggas shut the fuck up. You niggas are lawyers, lawyers that lie. You come on here, you're talking about motherfucking black women, talking about I'm screaming. Nigga, every day it's black women, black women, black women. What about you, black men? What did you do? My kids, shut the fuck up. You niggas be snub nose, you short stroke, you 10 stroke niggas. You can't fuck on a bitch. You shit, you can't handle your business. You're mad at the woman. What about you, nigga? Get your ass in shape. Handle your business. And maybe one day you could come to the Macosphere and drop your nuts and spill your guts, because men make mistakes too. Fuck what a woman gonna do. You put your motherfucking life in a woman's hands to protect yourself as a man. Did that rhyme? And that's why I'm here. And I'm Uncle Ism with the wisdom. And I fuck with T.P.O.T. Now pull on up, big head nigga. Jack. Hey!
I appreciate you coming through, brother Ism, as always.
Some more of it, T.P.O.T.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I guess I can bring back up Brother Nate and Trailer Hood down.
That was
intense. Goddamn Ism.
Yeah,
is
that's
insane.
the brilliance of a leftist. Yeah.
That was intense.
Yeah, it was magnificent.
All right. Parting shots, goddamn it. Parting shots. I'm ready to get the hell out.
Go ahead, Trailer Hood. Do your thing, bro.
Well, look, I'll be honest with you. I think that there's a lot of work that needs to be done, but I think that we all need to work together to do it, to be honest with you. That's the main reason why I come over. I wanted to come over here and, introduce myself and try and learn about this area and your guys' community, to be honest with you.
Awesome.
I wanted to share that I think that there's more commonalities and that we're all, dealing with a lot of the same issues when it stems to families, kids, things like that. And we may be dealing with them in a little bit different fashion, but we have a lot of the same issues that we're battling. And I would like to also, point out to the fact that if it's going to be hard if we can't have discussions, like if Nate and Ism can't have a healthy discussion with each other and be able to talk, it's going to make it even that much harder for, someone like me who's a white man to come over and try and, have these difficult discussions, and try and find commonalities. Because for me, look, the thing is I just want to see things in a different light. And I want to leave, when I leave, I want the world to be a better place for my kids and my grandkids. And I think that's what you gentlemen want too, as well. And
absolutely.
And I don't think that any of us are going to doing it on our own. I think we have to fight all these stereotypes and stigmas that are being put out there, because they're being put out there for a reason. And it's because they don't want to see strong white and black men come together and be leaders. If strong white and black men come together and start leading this country, leading their families and leading their communities, then now if they have multiple threats and dangers to their system that they've created. And that's how I'll end this.
All right.
If I could ask one question real quick of him, Xavier, how did you find your way to Xavier's?
He was over on BMT's platform panel one day, and I'd heard about T.P.O.T off of Platinum, and I searched up T.P.O.T, but I could never find it. And then he came on and it said Brother X, the Prophet of Thought, and it dawned on me. And so I've been actually listening to a lot of the discussions that are had over here, and I've been up here one time before. I don't feel that it's right for me, if I'm trying to learn, to really say a whole lot and speak on things that I'm not aware of. It's more important right now and empirical for me to learn and listen, because that's what this was about for me. I'm trying to learn and teach other people how to learn and understand each other.
Awesome, man. Absolutely. And you'll find that most of the content creators will welcome you. We have more in common than we have not in common, especially, you know, in regarding to experiences. But nah, man, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, The Little Big Nate Show. You seem to bend conservative, so you'll love a lot of the content you see over there.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like, you need to go ahead and subscribe to Brother Big Nate's show.
I will absolutely do that. And you know, I got a channel
like
too.
the things that Brother Big Nate talks about. You'll like what he talks about.
I got a channel as well. You know, it's Trailer Hood Voodoo Ninja. I mean, you guys are all welcome. I actually like to try and do like BMT does and just get multiple people together and talking that normally wouldn't be talking, because I think that's how things are going to change. I honestly think that if we utilize this platform that we have right now in this moment, we could actually change things, because we have the opportunity to talk to people we normally wouldn't have be talking to.
That's true. That's true.
That's true. Very
and
true.
yeah, just go. I'm pulling up your channel now, and I'll go through it. But look at my thumbnails. You'll love my thumbnails. You'll absolutely love them. Go check them out, though. But yeah, and anytime you'd like, you know, just make your way up on the platform when I open it up. We have some.
Absolutely, I appreciate it, brother.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate you having me up, Brother X. It's always a pleasure to be up here. You know, and anytime you would like to have a discussion, and have, you know, the white black dynamic and really get down to brass tacks, and someone that'll have a real discussion with people, I would be more than willing to come over and have a discussion with you or any of the brothers that are willing to talk.
That's cool. I will keep that in mind, man. You know, maybe we can, if I can think of something, you know, maybe we can, you know, we can have a discussion one of these nights. All right.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you coming through, man.
Yeah, you guys take it easy, man.
All right,
much love and blessing.
All right. And my brother Big Nate, who just got done doing battle with the one and only Sir Ism from the Macosphere.
Well,
why do you two guys, boy? I'm telling you, man.
Brother
Jesus
Xavier,
Christ.
what have I told you about leftist, Democrat, liberal black men? I said they're troublemakers. They're emotional. They have no control over themselves. They come up on platforms and they start trouble. And that's a perfect example. Wasn't nobody starting shit. You don't like the content being spoken about on a platform? Carry your old pimp ass, go limp into the pimposphere, wherever the fuck you occupy. Nobody cares, Ism. Nobody. You came up here insulting me. No man in this space gets to insult me. And just so you know, Ism, Xavier's going to Atlanta with me on December 3rd and 4th. We're having an IT tech conference and the first Manosphere meetup at the Westin in Buckhead. I'd invite you, but I don't want you there. All these loser, effeminate, leftist black men go to your empty channels, and you talk about complaining. You're the one coming up here complaining about what we're talking about. What are you so upset about? Grown men having a conversation? Who are you to dictate what grown men can talk about? Nobody comes to your channel and tells you what to talk about. Whatever old, retarded pimps who are failures in life talk about, go ahead and talk about it. Nobody cares. I came through a couple of times because I like the music. Showed you respect, but you can't show respect to effeminate, Democrat, loser black men. You just can't. And I've learned my lesson, and I'm teaching that lesson all throughout this space. You want to know if I'm ugly? Come to the Westin on December 3rd and 4th, and I'll let you see me up close, boy. All right? Now learn how to behave. Or is that too much to ask of an effeminate 50-something-year-old failed pimp? Thank you.
All right.
And I'm not trying to. He started, Xavier. I didn't start with nobody.
Yeah. I mean, I
don't start trouble with people. I don't.
I don't know what it is between you two, and it's just crazy. I guess it's good for entertainment. You know, the numbers went the numbers went up when that happened.
Yeah, they usually do when arguments come. But
absolutely. That's
yeah. You know, you can go look at, like I said, Ism. If you don't think I have $1,000, go look at my big fucking house. It's on my channel. And if you think I'm a failure, I don't know how a failure raises a son who just won a championship belt in kickboxing. And that's on my channel too. And if you listen to my channel, you'll hear all the cash apps that I get for what I do. And instead of having a congratulatory word, it's just the same broken nigga jealousy. It's always jealous, broken niggas, dog. Sad, man. Sad, but it is what it is. I don't go around starting shit with people. People love to start shit with me for some reason. It is what it is, man.
Yeah. Shit happens. Even though none of that was the topic that we were talking about.
I know. We had and isn't it crazy? I was just talking about what a magnificent conversation we had. We could actually solve a lot of the problems that we're facing in the Black community if men like us had, and Infantry Skills had a problem with me saying this, but if we had executive power over all of Black America, we could actually straighten some things out. But the only people we're going to be able to help are the people that think like us. That is it. Let the rest of these screaming, yelling, leftist, Democrat, effeminate losers who are in lockstep behind Black women and all the terrible decisions they make, let them go the way of the dodo bird, man. It's all just terrible, and it's all failing right before our eyes. If that's the route you want to go ahead and go. Me and mine are going another route, and we'll see you December 3rd and 4th at the beautiful Westin Hotel in Buckhead, Atlanta.
All right, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Peace. I will see you on the other side, my brother.
All right. Salute, brother Xavier.
All right. Yeah, folks, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Goddamn ism come up here. But shout out to brother Ism. You know, shout out to brother Ism. He did drop a super chat. He says, the Macosphere forever, Jack. Yeah. And you know, when you drop $20 or more on this platform, you get this. Uh-oh. A big coin drop on this platform. Appreciate that, brother Ism. And brother Ism again with another $5 super chat. He said, did Nate drop some bread? Well, Nate does support this channel, brother Ism. He does support this channel. He's actually one of the avid supporters of this channel. But you get another coin drop for that $5, my brother. Uh-oh. A big coin drop on this platform. Yes, brother Big Nate does support this channel, brother Ism. Quite regularly, I might add. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead, man, and get on up out of here. Yeah. Tonight, at the end of the show, it took a sharp left turn when brother Ism came up on here. Yeah, but far as the topic goes, you know, remember the topic, no matter what, still a nigga. I think that particular statement probably comes out of the mouth of Black people more than it comes out of the mouth of anyone. I don't think it's all about what other people think of us as Black men. I think that's just the cover. That's the shield, okay? That is the shield that we often use, you know, to, like Brother Nate said earlier today and a few other brothers said tonight, I think that line is used to not only minimize other brothers' accomplishments, I think it's also used to justify others' lack of ability to do anything or accomplish anything. That's what I believe. No matter what, you still a nigga. I just don't think that's something that we hear. I just don't think that's something that we're going to hear from white folks. I think there's very few times that anyone can possibly think of when a white person just said, "Oh, you're still just a nigger, even though you accomplish X, Y, and Z." No, that's something that we hear from people who look like us. Because see, that's what they want you to think about yourself. They want you to think you're just a nigga no matter what you do, no matter what you accomplish, no matter how much money you have, no matter where you live, no matter how successful you are. That's what people want you to believe, that you're just a nigga. But I'm here to tell you, no, you're not just a nigga. And usually the people who are telling you that, they are the ones who are just a nigga. Because chances are they're probably nowhere near successful as you. They probably don't have as much money as you. They probably don't build as much as you build. They probably don't have what you have. So never let nobody just label you because of your success. Label you because you have a good job. Label you because you make good money. Label you because you've accomplished some things. Because I think deep down inside, it's not you that they're calling just a nigga. It's themselves. That's all. But anyway, we gonna get up out of here. Oh, Brother Ism still dropping. Brother Ism is crazy. He says, Little Nate is still a ninja. L Nate, big little L. Ism is out of his mind, but he still gets a coin drop. Uh-oh. A big coin drop on this platform. Yeah, we're going to wrap it up if goddamn Brother Ism stop dropping these damn super chats, goddamn it. We're going to go ahead, man, and wrap it up, man. I appreciate all the good folks, man, for coming through, man. I appreciate all the super chats as well. Y'all know I do. I never take y'all lightly. I never have, and I never will. Y'all already know what it is. Special shout out to everybody who came up on here tonight. My brother, Big Nate, Brother Trey, my man, Brother SKC, Brother TVA, Brother Bernard from the Grown Man Hour, my brother, Brother Art, and Trailer Hood, and of course, Brother Ism as well. I appreciate everybody for coming out tonight, man. You could have been anywhere on a Wednesday night, man, and you decided to be here, man, and it is appreciated, man. I appreciate all the good folks out there and the good folks who hang out up in here. I don't know what we got going on tomorrow, folks. I have no idea. I got kind of a show in the works, but I haven't heard from the people, so I don't know what's good. But we might do something Saturday. Because I'm trying to get my man Black Ram on here. I know y'all know who that is, Black Ram 313. It's therapeutic, man. I'm trying to get my brother Black Ram on here within the next couple of days, but I am kind of sort of working on like a debate, kind of. So just look out for the thumbnails, man. As always, you look out for the thumbnails. Y'all will see what we got going on. All right. So with that, I will leave you good folks with 3 words, like I always do. Open your mind.
I was a
So a community is where you control your police, you control your commerce, you control your education, you control your house. We don't control none of that. We live in a hood. Huh? Well, what about the Negroes that get out? Oh, well, see, my cousin, they say he's a multi-millionaire, almost at $1 billion. 3 PhDs, working on 2 more. Driving down the street in Chicago in his Rolls Royce, enjoying himself, and he hears these sirens and looks through the mirror and sees this cop car flashing lights. He squeezed the steering wheel, man. Heart beats fast. Because he knows the price of a Negro, what it could be. And then when that cop car passed him by, he said, thank God he wasn't after you in the first place, Tom. That Negro thing you can't get away from. It's universal. They wasn't coming after you. With all your millions, with your Rolls Royce, with your PhD, didn't help. That's the hood. Huh? Why do you think you never pick up the paper until you read over and over and see white families? You think it's thousands of black cops in America. Why don't you see white families crying as black cops shot my loved one 40 times in the back of the head? Why do you think black cops are that? You think they're more spiritual? Think they're better? No! They got enough sense to know that white folks ain't gonna tolerate it. And I will stop in our neighborhood when we decide we will not tolerate it. Now, if we was organized, which is hard to organize people who are just gonna run crazy and you don't know you're crazy. But if we were, with the money we have, and the many people who would come to our aid that don't know what it's like to be a Negro, and we said, look, we saying, if we don't get a federal law to deal with police brutality, that anytime a cop or anybody carry a gun, have to have a license just like you used to drive a car. And if you use it wrong, then you'll lose your license. And if it's upheld, you can never work again as a cop or a store guard or a private detective. How do you get Congress to protect us? Well, you take your economic power and you call on your friends, black, white, young and old, and say, this coming Christmas, if we don't have a federal law to outlaw police brutality by law, if we call them for a nationwide boycott of Christmas and it'll start on Thanksgiving. Well, let me tell you what that means. 79% of all retail in America happens between Thanksgiving and Christmas. People stay in business all year, lose money just for Christmas, huh? Well, what happens now? Sack Fifth Avenue, Toys R Us, Sears and Roebuck, Weston House. They will get the bill, and all they got to do is make one phone call and say, Harry, that's the senator, I want that bill pushed through in 3 days. Okay, it's an economic thing. It's that simple. But we have the power, but the system has wiped us out so bad.
Hours of power.
Happy. Santana, Lincoln 6. Go ahead. Clear suspect down 10-4. That's 10-4. The officer's code 4. We have one suspect that's been shot.
Open your mind.
Only from T.P.O.T. Media. Open your mind.